Hello. We are streaming again. I know that's how you're supposed to introduce a stream, is to tell everyone you're streaming. We are going to be playing Esper CryoBlade today. I streamed on Thursday, and I was not intending to do two Esper streams back to back. I did Esper Scam then, but I was trying to figure out what I wanted to play today, and this is the deck that I've been putting off working on for a little while, and then was working on last night, and really wanted to get some leagues in. So this is not the current list we're going to be running. This is the list that I played in a video about a month ago, beginning of August, when the set dropped, the new set, Edge of Eternities, that is, because the reason we're playing Esper is for Cryogen Relic. Because Cryogen Relic looks really good. Now, it actually hasn't impacted the format as much as we being everyone I had heard from, seemed to think it was going to impact the format. But it still seems really good to me, and I think this is underexplored. I kind of expected a lot more people to be trying out this kind of Esper shell. I haven't really seen anybody else doing it, but I put out a video with it, and we did okay. We went 2-3. It wasn't amazing, and I don't mind going 2-3, but also the deck just felt really clunky. But that was because I made a couple issues in my deck building that I think I have fixed rather. And that is that one of the things was I just assumed we were basically Grixis Affinity, and I could take all of the thoughts about Grixis Affinity and apply them here. Basically, we played turning red into white. I played just the same lands as Affinity has played. Bridges, 11 bridges, 1 of Swamp, and then 4 black and 2 of each of these. And I don't think that's too bad. But the other problem that I thought wasn't going to be an issue and ended up being so was that I figured Grixis Affinity is a 3-color deck. We shouldn't have any mana issues, any issues getting the colors of mana that we need, in the same way that Grixis Affinity doesn't. But what I didn't really consider was that Grixis Affinity is really a 2-color deck with a splash. It's really Rakdos, and you're splashing 4 Thoughtcasts, maybe a 1 Kenku, and that's pretty much it in the main deck. Sometimes you have a Metallic Rebuke or a Gearseeker Serpent or something like that. And in the sideboard, you have some more blue spells. But really, it's a 2-color deck with a splash. And splash is kind of not defined super well. I think a splash is like 5 cards or fewer, which is about what Grixis Affinity runs for blue. But what we were playing was this, which was 12 blue cards, not a splash at all. In fact, white is probably our biggest splash here with 10 white cards, and that's just not a splash at all. So that was one of the issues, was I kind of made that assumption. But also, we just don't draw as many cards as quickly because we don't have, because we're trying to do the slow, grindy drawing cards with Cryogen Relic, right? We're not going to be, we did have some Fanaticals in this iteration. I have taken them out of the next iteration, but it's not going to be like, oh, Acre Wellspring, draw 3 the next turn. We do have Thoughtcast, so we have a little bit of that, but it's going to be play a relic, draw a card, pick it back up, draw a card, etc. And so I didn't include any other mana fixing, and that was an issue. So this is the list that I was playing with before. Nothing too much more to say about that. So this is the new list that we're going to be trying. The big differences being that I'm playing 2 Prophetic Prism and 2 Navigator's Compass in the main deck. And the reason for that is the mana issues that I was mentioning. It feels like we were not able to get all the mana that we needed. And on top of that, something I didn't consider was that we need a lot more of all of our colors than other decks will. Because Grixis Affinity only needs like a 1 of blue on a turn for Thoughtcast, we might need 2 or 3 or 4 blue on a turn if we're going to keep playing a Cryogen Relic over and over and over. And that's something that I had not really fully considered. So, with that, we're playing 2 Prophetic Prisms, and we're playing 2 Navigator's Compass. The reason for this, I mean, I'm still brewing the deck, it's still new, so is this the right number? I don't know for sure. But Prophetic Prism is better to be picked up in most matches with your core Skyfishers and your Glint Hawks because it draws you a card. And so it's not as good to pick up as a relic, but if we don't have a relic on the field, being able to pick it back up, draw another card with it is not a bad idea. Navigator's Compass is great against any sort of burn matchup. And this is in fact a card I had in our sideboard, and I've actually added some to the main deck because there's a lot of burn going around, so I don't mind having the life gain in the main deck. But honestly, having a 1 mana fixer has been incredible for the deck so far. And by that I mean I played 1 league last night with it, and I went 4-1, and it was very close last match, it felt really, really good. And then I actually took it to my local Pauper event today, and I was able to 3-0 that event, which was pretty sweet. And I took this exact list that I'm going to be showing off. And it's just really nice because Compass, if you have like say, a bridge and then another land of the same color, so you are missing one of your colors, you can play a bridge turn 1. Then you can play a compass, and then you can play like a refurb, no matter what. No matter if you're missing black, because you're no longer missing black because of the compass. And so having that's really nice. I kept a hand, it was either last night or I think it was last night, that was completely unplayable. It was like 2 Glint Hawks, a Thoughtcast, a Cryogen Relic, 2 Vaults of Whispers, and then a Navigator's Compass. So it was 2 black lands, all blue and white spells, and the 1 of Compass just made that deck that hand so much better, and then I just crushed with it. Now, could I have done that with Prophetic Prism? Yes, but I believe having the 2 mana on turn 2 was really nice, because then I played like a Relic on turn 2, and then I was able to get the Skyfisher going quicker. So I really like the compasses so far. So these have been nice. Other than that, we have 2 spell bombs. I mean, the idea of the deck, if you're not familiar with it so far, I realize we're missing one of the most important cards. But the idea of the deck is that basically we are Orzhov Glintblade, but then we've added blue because of Cryogen Relic. Now I've added Thoughtcast and a 1 of Metallic Rebuke. Maybe a little random to just have 1, but it's kind of worked for me so far. I've already been able to counter some pretty nice stuff with it. The big thing that I didn't have in the last iteration is 4 of Mirror Enforcer. I was playing a couple Black Mage's Rod, and they were okay. My thought was that you kind of storm off with a Relic, bounce it back to hand, and then you replay it, and you can ping a lot of damage that way. And also you can pick up the Black Mage's Rod and get another 1/1, right? But that did not seem to work out as well as I had anticipated in practice. So it's less value, but we already have so much value going that all we need is just a nice solid finisher at the end. And that's what Mirror Enforcer is for. We just have 4 free 4/4s, right? Obviously this is nothing new. This is something that people have known in Grixis Affinity for a long time. But it's really strong. And so we're going to be playing the Enforcers. They've played very well for me so far. Let me just make a little post here. Just so that we can get as many people popping in as possible. Streaming's kind of a new thing for me. So making sure that people get one of my many annoying posts and can know that we are live and can hop in. Anyway, so that's kind of the deck. We are definitely a mid-range deck, a little more control-y than aggro, and so we have a good amount of removal. 2 Tithing Blades, maybe not enough, maybe too many. I know some people don't like Tithing Blade at this point. I'm not just stuck with it because it's a Glint Blade or a CryoBlade deck. Tithing Blade is still very good. There are definitely matchups where it hits a Brinebearer Intruder that you don't care about, or an Eldrazi Spawn that you don't care about. But, and of course you get this teeny tiny Tithing Blade viewer, but Tithing Blade is still just really good in certain matchups, and also just at certain times. Against fairies, it can be kind of useless if they have a Brinebearer, but also it can be incredible on turn 2 if they just like ninja and tap out, right? And then also, the pinging for damage is not irrelevant. I actually won 2 matches earlier today, two games earlier today with flipping a Tithing Blade. So that comes up too. So we have 2 of those, but we also just want some classic cast downs. Of course, a 1 of Grim Bauble, Suffocating Fumes, otherwise we have some issues, with a go wide deck. And so those are all good. Metallic Rebuke. What else haven't I talked about? I mean, for our threats, pretty much what I've talked about, but we get all the threats from Orzhov Blade, Glint Hawk, Core Skyfisher, Refurbished Familiar, and then we get Mirror Enforcers from Grixis Affinity. Now, one of my biggest issues with Orzhov Blade, as much as I love the deck, is that it does not have the best draw package ever. You have to play Thraben Inspectors, Novice Inspectors, which are okay in the right deck. I think they're great in White Weenie, but I just don't care for them too much in a Glint Hawk and Core Skyfisher deck, because your threats are mostly flying in the air, and then you just having Inspectors kind of gives more power to random Cart Clan Shamans and just random stuff like that. So I like that our threats are just a bunch of 2-power flyers and Mirror Enforcers. This feels very, very nice. And then, of course, we're going to be drawing a million cards off the Cryogen Relic is the idea with Thoughtcasts. I'll stop blabbing about that. We will get to our sideboard real quick, though. This is what my sideboard's looking like. We have 2 Thraben Charms. We already have 2 Nile Spellbombs in the main deck. I like Thraben Charm as extra graveyard hate, but also it can be more removal, and it can also destroy enchantments. So I like that pretty well. 3 Dust to Dust. We have some worse things compared to Grixis Affinity, and we have some better things. The worst things are we don't have quite as good board wipes. We have no Croak Clan Shaman, and we don't have any reach or 1 mana removal, really, except for Grim Bauble, with Galvanic Blasts. It sucks to lose those, but what we make up for is all these amazing flyers, and then Dust to Dust, incredible in any match where your opponent is going to be playing artifacts of their own. And then we get Blue Elemental Blasts. Hydro Blasts would probably be better. Really, there's not a big difference here, but except for the fact that Hydro Blasts are very expensive. I have a couple Duresses. There's a decent amount of combo going around and things like that, so it's just nice to have. I originally had 2 Arms of Hadar here. I put in a Crypt Rats. This might be a little weird, as we are a 3-color deck, but again, we're base black still. So we have 11 land sources that are black, but also with these 4 fixers, I think it's not too hard to get, 3 or 4 or 5 black mana for the Crypt Rats. And that can be a little weird, maybe. But I played against... The match that I lost last night was against Spy Combo. And of course, I thought we were decent with 4 Graveyard Hate pieces for that. We don't have Fairy Macabre, but also the issue was just that we didn't draw any of them, really. But Crypt Rats is just... It could have been an out. Right? We could have wiped all of their creatures and then they wouldn't have been able to combo. And so it's not just for that. It's also decent against your Gruul monsters or your elves or anything like that. But I think, honestly, a Crypt Rats wouldn't be bad here. And if it works out as well as I'm hoping, maybe even 2 of those instead of Arms of Hadar would be better. But just kind of an experiment right now. And then we have 2 more Compasses to bring in against any burn matchup. Of course, there are going to be a lot of those. That is the deck. So I have... I was working quite a bit to try to get a deck list command working, and it was not working. I've added a command in Stream Elements. It should be working as far as I can tell, so I have to troubleshoot that a little bit. But here's the deck list, and I think we are going to take it in to our first league today. Since I've now have 8 matches on this deck list, 3 today in paper, and then 1 yesterday. But let's take it for a league and see how we do. Oh, and my title did not update again. Perfect. Should be saying running Esper, Glintblade. Taking a bit to find a match here. All right. Well, the deck. So I think Orzhov Glintblade is already one of my favorite decks to play. And as I was saying, I don't necessarily love the draw package. You have to use Thraben Inspectors and things like that. You get Lembuses, which are okay, but obviously drawing 2 from a Cryogen Relic is way better. And so yeah, the deck is great because it's got decent threats, 2 power flyers, and it's got really good removal with Cast Downs, Tithing Blades, Grim Baubles, and everything like that. But it always struggles, I feel like, in running out of cards. And so that's why I think Esper might be the real deal. A lot of people seemed more excited about Jeskai Cryo Synth, and I did post a video about that as well. And it felt good, to be honest, but it was just a lot of card draw. You Synthesizer already draws you so many cards. Boros Synth is already a deck where you don't often run out of cards. And then Cryogen Relic was just, even more on top of that. And in addition to that, as good as Relic is, Synth is 1 mana. So assuming you have, 4 or 5 or 10 mana in a really late game, you're always wanting to play and pick up the Synth rather than the Relic until you're right at the end of your mana. Like if you have 2 mana left and you flip up a Core Skyfisher, you're going to want to pick up the Relic. But other than that, you're picking up the Synth. So even in that deck, Synth is still kind of the star, which is fine. Relic doesn't have to be the star. But I think that it lends itself to be a little bit better here, where Glintblade, I think the thing holding it back is the card draw, and we can add that in, whereas Boros Synth, the thing that is holding it back, I don't know exactly, but it's not the card draw, I don't think. No one wants to play against us. All right, looks like we finally got a match here, and 2 lands. Did I mess up here? Did I play the wrong deck? Esper CryoBlade, it's supposed to be CryoBlade 2. Well, that's embarrassing. Yeah, because this Fanatical Offering is not supposed to be here. Well, I guess we're seeing how this goes. I was so excited for the new build, too. And these look way worse than the cards that I put in. All right, well, we're going to give this a try. And if this first match goes poorly, I think we're just gonna drop and try the new deck. This hand looks fine. No black is kind of awkward. And yeah, but we have the Cryogen Relic on turn 2. So that's nice. This is why I need to name my decks something different. more so than just the 2. Because I was like, oh yeah, that's the deck we're playing. It was not the deck we were playing. All right, usually when I see a forest, that's a good draw. Usually when I see a forest, I hope they're on like a Gruul ramp or something, because those are not often the hardest. But usually, recently, it's been Spy combo. Oh, Arbor Elf. Fortunately, we didn't hit the black, so we actually can't bauble this right away. A little annoying, unless we get a tap black source here. But we can Glint Blade back our Relic, and them not getting that on turn 1 is nice. Another Glint Hawk. Okay, well, we'll pass here. Well, if we do well, we'll just keep running with this list, and then maybe we'll be able to squeeze in some games with the second list. But, you know, that's what I get. All right, they are Ponza with the Acid Moss, and got Wildlings, Arbor Elves. They choose a Wildling. 3 mana for, I'm assuming a Thermokarst? Yeah, blow up our white source. Yep, that's not great. We get in, that's a great draw. We get to attack for 2 here. A little annoying because I can't Rebuke and Bauble. Well, I can't Rebuke at all. I would love to Bauble this away, but since I can't, I mean, they could just get a Wildling down this next turn. I think we just play the Relic, though, because we want to pick it up with the Glint Hawks. If the worst they can play is like a Wildling, I mean, an Avenging Hunter isn't that big of a deal here. If they don't hit a land drop, they could do a 4-drop, and it could be like a Moan Volley, and that's fine. Yeah, they're just looking for a land here. They do get a mountain, so we could see a Chrysalis, but we have the cast down for it. There it is. So I could... Ooh, that's nice. So that lets me Glint Hawk, Bauble, and cast down if I want to do all that. But I kind of want to hold up Rebuke, which means Glint Hawk picks up Relic, although picking up Relic's kind of not great here, because then I can't Rebuke as well. So I could just Bauble, cast down, and then I can Rebuke. I think that feels nice. Yeah, so we Bauble with black here, cast down. Okay, I think this is decent. We can get the Glint Hawks going next turn, but I kind of want to hold up Rebuke for a boarding party here or something. Ideally not. I mean, ideally not a boarding party because, you know, they cascade into something, but maybe if they cascade into something irrelevant, that's not a big deal. I think this feels decent. 7, they could also have an Altasaur. For Shadow Beast Sighting. Create a 4/4 with flashback. Okay. I mean, I can't counter that. I could counter it. They'd have to sack their spawn. What else are they doing this turn? Probably nothing. I could get it next turn. I kind of think if they want to waste their spawn on this, I'm good with that, because then it's going to be harder for them to get to the flashback or really anything else for a couple turns. Yeah, they let it go. I like that. They do have something else though. Jewel Thief, Visionary. Okay, definitely some cards I haven't seen in Gruul ramp before. All right, well, we have... I could just pick up the Bauble and shoot this, actually. But I can do Glint Hawk, replay the Relic, Glint Hawk Bauble if I want. So I think we just start with this. Picking up the Relic. Hey, big fan, keep up the good work. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I've been really enjoying making videos recently. A lot of sweet stuff to explore. I'm glad that other people like it. All right, so yeah, I think we replay the Relic and then more than likely just Bauble this down, but we'll see where we're at. Thoughtcast is good for next turn. Army of Glint Hawks here. Take out the Visionary to hopefully keep them off 6, but, you know, we'll see what we can do. Well, they're on 6, but not 7. And they have another Sighting, just a 4/4. They can't block. Ooh, I have not seen that token before. That's not the token that's supposed to make, I don't think. They just got 2 mana left. What else they got? Nothing. They concede. We were in a pretty good spot there, so I don't mind that. We get nothing. Thraben Charm is removal, and it can hit enchantments if I really need. But Dust to Dust isn't good. Arms is not great. Although they're playing Visionaries. Maybe Arms is better because of that. This is where my Crypt Rats would come in from my other sideboard. But, let's see. Spellbomb we don't need. Actually, with the Sightings, maybe I do want Spellbomb for the graveyard. Fumes. Artificer, they're going to have a lot of shuffle and exile effects, probably. So I don't think that's good. Rebuke seems solid enough. Flicker's not bad. We're playing the Rods. Yeah. If we were playing Mirror Enforcers, I think this would be better. But that's what I get for submitting the wrong deck list. Black Mage's Rod. Don't think that seems amazing here. Just win with these guys. Kill all their creatures. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking Arms feels decent. I'm bringing Compass in, not really because we need the life gain, but because it can help fixing, since we didn't bring them in when we were supposed to. I don't know. This seems fine. Okay, well, you can Bauble. I mean, we need blue, and then it's still not amazing, but we do have some decent interaction. I think we keep only 2 lands. I guess we are against Ponza. I'm going to bauble that right away. Another land is nice. I don't like that I have to play this untapped right here, but this means they can't blow up this land with artifacts, or land destruction rather, right away, regardless. But if they're going to have a Deglammer, they can use that on any of them, so honestly, it's not the worst. Utopia Sprawl, and that's it. Okay. Well, we have Bridge, and we're passing. Drawing lands is great, though, against, I mean, with only 2 lands in hand, but also against Ponza. They do have Thermokarst available, and they got nothing. That's great for us. And a Relic. Okay. I played the white because that's what we had, so it looked like we want to play the Glint Hawk, but now I wish I had played the Relic. They didn't have anything for 3 mana. I could Thraben Charm the Sprawl. Does that seem any good? Kind of. Slow him down a little bit. We don't have enough creatures for it to really be relevant otherwise. I think we just do that. And then I play the Bridge. And next turn we can get like Cryogen Glint Hawk going. They do have an untapped land, so maybe a 4-drop here, but didn't have anything last turn. They did have the tap land, but so maybe they do have a 4-drop and I just didn't realize. They have card I'm gonna have to read. Earth Rift. Destroy target land with flashback. Okay. Destroy. I have no problem with that. They blew up 1 land, but like they didn't ramp them, and now I'm not going to have anything else they can destroy. Relic, well, at least not currently. Okay. Give him a taste of his own medicine with charm. Exactly. They deserve to be off mana too. Chrysalis here. We can cast down if we want. Probably just Glint Hawk, and then I can replay the Relic if I want here. We want to hit land drops, obviously, is our main goal at the moment. Spellbomb. Not worried about the Earth Rift at the moment, but that's not bad for later. I could Fanatical the Bauble if I really want to draw 2 to hit my land. I kind of do. If we whiff on land, we have to discard, which isn't great. I think we can just Relic. I think we're doing fine currently. We will pass and see what they got for us. Hopefully nothing too bad. Well, it's expensive. Looks like an Altasaur, or I guess a Hydra could be. Altasaur. Reveal an Arbor Elf. I can live with that. Although it would be much nicer if it was like a Sprawl or something, because then we could Tithing one of these away, and that's actually going to keep that at bay. Refurb is decent. Earth Rift with Chris, actually not a bad idea. Yeah, I mean, it seems reasonable. Obviously, you don't get to ramp with it like Wand Volley, but second land destruction is pretty nice. Okay, I could refurb. I want to Ghostly Flicker. I mean, I could Ghostly Flicker Glint Hawk Cryogen and then pick up the Cryogen with the Hawk, which is a draw 3 and bounce the Relic. But then we've used our turn. Maybe we find a land, maybe we don't. I could also bounce Bauble, replay that to take the Arbor Elf. It hits their mana a little bit, and it makes the Tithing Blade better next turn. We have another Cryogen Relic. I think maybe we just draw 3 with the Fanatical here. Leave a white-black. Yeah. Double red is sometimes hard. Yeah, that would be my main concern, that without a Sprawl or an Arbor Elf with a Ridge Line or something, it could be pretty tough. All right, well, we found lands that they're going to be able to blow up, but that's fine. This is fine. I mean, I could just Spellbomb away the Earth Rift if I'm really worried about it. I could also just cast down here. We discard a card, but that's not a big deal. Then we take out the Altasaur. If they want to spend their turn blowing up my land, I'm kind of fine with that. And Altasaur's the scary one. Otherwise, I'm Refurb and Spellbombing, which is not bad for like Skyfisher for next turn. Probably cast down. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I think if we just keep our life total high, we're probably fine. If I could take both the cards from their hand with like Refurb, Skyfisher, like if I had mana for that, I probably would do that. We are not, well, I'm not chump blocking this Chrysalis, but I might chump block a Boarding Party if they have that, so I think we're going to hold back. What do we want to get rid of? Spellbomb for the Rift and stuff? I think that's probably fine. I don't think we really need it that badly. But yeah, if they spend their turn playing a land and then Earth Rifting, I think that's fine. I'm much more scared of anything else. They do have a Wild Growth, so they can do it if they want. But then I get to... I will be 1 mana short of... Because if they don't blow up my land, I can also like Tithing Blade, Ghostly Flicker for another Tithing Blade. If they don't blow up land, then they'll probably be playing something else. Oh, they just have an Earth Rift from hand. Okay, that's fine. If they're not using this 3 mana, though, why wouldn't they just flash back the other one? I'll take 4. Okay. Seems good to me. Yeah. Okay, so now I could Skyfisher the Bauble for the Arbor Elf and Familiar Way their last card. I think that seems solid. Then I'm setting up to Tithing Blade the Chrysalis. They have to top deck, and they only have 6 mana, so an Altasaur doesn't do anything. They have a Thermokarst. Yeah. I guess... No, I played a land this turn. I was going to say I could pick up this and then Thraben Charm the Chrysalis, but I cannot do that. but I think I'm fine with this. Bauble, the Arbor Elf, 6. They could kill 2 of these. I could leave this back and triple block. It's only 2 damage. I think that's fine. We haven't seen any removal out of them. Maybe it just deters them from attacking at all. There's the boarding party. That's another reason I wanted to leave it back for Sky Shaper. Which one's that? Sacrifice a creature you control, gain flying. Look how amazing that is. I mean, it helps them block. It does not help them attack at all. So that's pretty funny. Okay, so I could triple block this. I lose 2, and then I tithing this away. But I'm at 6. Or I could chump, take 4, Thraben Charm, Tithing Blade. I'm left with an extra attacker. I think that seems better to me. Then we can kill him a little bit quicker. I don't really want to trade 2 of these for the boarding party. Yeah, I think this seems solid. Maybe getting a little greedy, taking damage. I mean, I was taking damage unless I chump blocked both of them, which I didn't really like, or double traded for the party. But yeah, so we destroy this guy, Tithing Blade. And then, do I leave a guy back in case of another boarding party? I think yes. I think we're in a very good spot, and there's no reason to take unnecessary damage. And I think we're going to just win if they don't top deck perfectly. And there's a land, and they don't have double red, because this isn't a Utopia Sprawl, so they can't even Earth Rift. So now we get, I guess I should get down Cryogen so that I can hold up a Ghostly Flicker Tithing Blade as like a combat trick. So let's get that down. Vault doesn't really change much. Let me map onto this guy for more damage. Glint Hawk on top. Play this. Play a Blood Fountain, and I guess I'll leave back the 3 power guy, so if they do get a boarding party, I can just trade. And then next turn, I'll have my Ghostly Flicker up as a double removal spell potentially, and then also a Glint Hawk as a blocker, so I can start going full swing. And this is why I did that. There's the boarding party. Thermokarst, that's fine. There's that Foresight. I'll trade these in a heartbeat. They don't want to give it flying? Okay, interesting choice. Glint Hawk, back the Relic. Thraben Charm is nice. You know, Thraben Charm actually lets me kill another boarding party at instant speed. So I think we'll get down the Relic again. Not hold up the Ghostly Flicker this time, but I have the Charm. Oh, I have a Skyfisher. I could just play another Skyfisher. Okay, well, what am I saying? We're just playing, guys. Pick up that Relic again. Refurb's nice. They hit a land drop, and it's not even a red land at that. Thoughtcast. We'll just make it so we have a lethal attacker next turn. Thoughtcast. No land drop. Okay. We'll just swing and hold up all of our interaction, I think. Pass to them. Please flicker on draw step. Oh, yeah, I should have done that. That would have been wise. Sorry, I was already passing through the turn. Yeah, well, we got there anyway. But you're right, that would have been very cool. I don't know. That would have been pretty cool. I'll definitely flicker and draw step next time. It looks good. Looks right. Nail in the coffin, who's already sealed. Exactly. Yeah, it just would have. They couldn't have drawn anything at that point. I guess I could have given them a Savage Sighting. I've already forgotten what the card was called. They could have flashback for a 4/4 if I did that. But hey, I if you weren't here, I submitted the wrong deck list. Unfortunately, we're playing not quite the Relic, the Cryogen deck I was meaning to. It is an Esper Cryogen, but it's a couple of cards different. But it seemed to be working pretty well. So. Hopefully, it will keep going well. But the big thing is we're missing Mirror Enforcers, which I added to the deck and wanted to see how those would play. But now I'm too broke. I don't want to lose all these play points. And I didn't realize until we were already in a match. This has got some card draw. We need a blue source for the Cryogen Relic. We are against Poison Storm. Not probably going to be great for us. We're not the fastest deck. We will see. They have a Relic, too. How dare they? Glint Hawk, not bad. All we got is this Blood Fountain. And if we don't draw a land here, we're probably just going to offering away the blood. Experimental Augury. So if they're playing Cryogen Relic, oh, I was going to say, are they playing Ghostly Flicker for that? But no, I realized this just puts a stun counter on a thing, and then you can proliferate the stun counters, and then you can keep a thing tapped indefinitely, which can be pretty nice. Thraben Charm, not super helpful. Yeah. Coma, stun counter proliferate does seem pretty good. Let's just draw 2, hope for a land. Hey, we did get one. Yeah, it is pretty cool that Relic works in that way with proliferate. Not that I want more Poison Storm out in the world, but you know, for those players, I'm sure they enjoy it. Infectious Inquiry into an Augury or Contentious Plan, I assume. Just an Everflowing Chalice. Okay. We got a very helpful Tithing Blade. What do we got? I mean, if we want to start damage, we could play a Black Mage's Rod, but we really need to be hitting our land drops. So, super fast start with +3 refurb. Yeah, that would be the ideal thing. I could just, if we want to go really fast, I could just get down like Rod plus Glint Hawk, pick up a Blood Fountain. Maybe not even that. Maybe I just pick up a land and put it back down, because I don't, like, generally I would want to draw here, but I think we just need to start attacking so that if they don't find a Weather the Storm, maybe we put them on a 5-turn clock. Not a great plan. I do have some artifact removal and some hand attack in the side, but yeah, I think I just pick up a bridge here and replay it, and maybe we can get them if they don't have the best draw. Thirsting Roots is mana positive because of both of these artifacts. I mean, the Relic does give us another artifact to hit with Dust to Dust, because generally Dust to Dust kind of a tough card to bring in this matchup because they only have usually like 4 of these and 2 or 3 of these. But assuming they're playing like 4 relics, it might make it easier, which could actually be beneficial for us. But yeah, game 2 we'll definitely just need to take a much faster hand, as fast as we can in our grindy slow deck. Another Inquiry. I mean, that technically kind of gains us a turn here. Insight. I mean, we're already at 5 poison, though, and they're at 7 cards in hand, so not looking great. And they have the Weather for 15. We got a land. Well, we can swing. Raven Charm doesn't do anything. I guess we're already halfway dead. Yeah, this one's feeling rough. Let's just play this and play a Skyfisher for more pressure. And maybe with 7 cards in hand, they peter out, lose all their value, or, just don't have enough to keep going. Doesn't feel like that's going to be the case. Prologue to Phyresis twice. Infectious Inquiry. Snap. Steady Progress. More of that black oil. Probably nothing. That Strange Oil, actually, I think is the Strange Oil. Yep, probably nothing. All right, we are dead. Definitely not a good one for us in general, but again, sideboard, duress, what's useless, this, tithing, cast down, grim baubles, 3-bin charms. They could bring in like fog. Compass is not great, the life gain, but it just smooths our mana, so that's better than nothing. And yeah, I think that's it. Try to get a fast hand. I mean, Dust to Dust and duress can definitely go far. If we can dust to take away their like two artifacts, could be really good, because their artifacts are what the deck relies on, and in general my goal against Poison Storm is to just attack their artifacts, so we'll try to make that happen. But yeah, also a well-timed Rebuke could be pretty big in this match, as we could, if they go down to like 1 counter on like a Prism while they're trying to proliferate and we get rid of it, that could be pretty good. 1 seat is not going to do it though. Well, we have all of these guys, but we can't play these guys. If this was a Vault of Whispers, I would snap keep, because we could play a Familiar, and then we could Glint Hawk the Familiar. They're thinking, I mean, this one's just unkeepable, I think. Either that or we just pray to get a Black Source, and then it's pretty good. We can take 4 cards from their hand over the course of a couple turns. Maybe this is the hand that we need, actually. We put back a Rod, and we just hope we find a Black Source. I think this is kind of not great for us in general, so I think maybe we do chance it. They're down to 5, so maybe we have a decent shot anyway. I guess if we don't find a Black Source by turn 2, pray for black, exactly. If we don't find a Black Source, we might just start playing Skyfishers. Like, if they have a bad enough mulligan, maybe they can just get there. I mean, a bridge, I would even take another Glint Hawk. I could play two Glint Hawks, bring both of our lands back to hand. I mean, is that terrible? I have a 5-turn clock on them. They mulligan to 5. Navigator coming in clutch from the sideboard. I know. This is why it's sometimes so amazing. I would love one here. Do we just play double Glint Hawk? That's insane, right? That's crazy. Unless they started on green here. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? We get these snapped, and then we've pulled all our lands back into hand. I mean, this is what we're here for, right? Maybe our best shot. I mean, that's kind of what I'm thinking. That's black mana. I don't see any blue mana, so no snaps yet. Although they could Prism next turn. Well, we just hit our first land drop. That's nice. We'll see. I mean, they have green, so like they could still potentially weather the storm, but they're going to need blue to actually build up a big enough storm. But yeah, if they have Prism here, it's kind of rough. Cycle for a Lorien, okay. I mean, this would be a pretty funny win if we get there. Snow covered. Where are my Thermokarsts? They got 4 mana, Steady Progress. Cold Snap the best. I could see that. We got a Razor Tide. Okay, we have another choice to make, which is, do I play a Core Skyfisher here? I mean, that takes another turn off our clock. We've come this far, right? What's one more? If we hadn't already committed to this, I could maybe do something else, but like, this gives them only 2 turns. Maybe we could do something. Then again, maybe this is the dumbest play ever, but Esper Self Panza. Changing the title of the stream real quick. You can't blow up our land. No! You can't blow up our lands if we just bounce them all back to hand. Snap. Definitely not what I wanted to see. I mean, I guess that keeps us at a 3-turn clock instead of what it would turn into a 6-turn clock. Augury. And they have an Inquiry? Yeah. They're at 10. Okay. We replay the Skyfisher. That's again a 2-turn clock. This is ridiculous. I mean, we are technically presenting lethal next turn. Is there any difference between playing a Glint Hawk and playing a Skyfisher? Glint Hawk, we get to play a bridge, but it doesn't matter because the land comes back to hand anyway. So we might as well play a 2-drop. All right. Look, if they concede, it's going to be the funniest thing of my life. Random breath weapon from the sideboard. That would be pretty rough. They need to have a prism for that, though, and they haven't so far. Echoing Truth. Did they play that? I didn't know that. Or at least I don't know if I've seen that. I haven't played against Poison Storm in a while. Hickory Woodlot. 5 mana. Nope, not 5. Plan uses up their blue, and they played a land. So unless they have a prism, they can't snap. They could just weather. Okay, Desperation Weather for 6 life. Only buys them a turn. That's not bad. That's not a good draw. I guess we're continuing this. I mean, this means through 1 snap, we still have an attacker. This is the funniest thing I've ever seen. I gotta take a screenshot of this real quick because the people must know. Whether we win or lose, this is very funny. Steady Progress. Okay. Again, that uses their blue, but they haven't played a land this turn. Double Weather. We got there. Oh gosh, I peeked the mic. I'm so sorry. I was so excited though. That was pretty cool. That's sometimes you just get there. Oh gosh. Okay, actually I'm gonna take another one with the win on there. It's too good. All right. So that was pretty sweet. We just do that again, but hopefully we don't do that again because that's crazy. Need to go. It was a blast. I appreciate you showing up. Have a good night. Compass could be clutch. Turn 1 bridge, turn 2 compass, turn 3 relic, Skyfisher. This does not have the pressure we really need. Yeah, they start with 7 cards. Ugh. I just don't think this one's gonna cut it. Okay, that one's better. This is better because we can do a turn 2 familiar, turn 3 familiar again. So we get rid of this Goldmire. Actually, would I prefer double black? Because I can Goldmire. Yeah, yes, in case we get another refurb. Okay, that seems pretty good. Well, we got our bridge right back. I can live with that though. And they just have a peat bog. Rebuke could be really good. I think we're just starting with refurbs. The one, that is, not the multi. They've got a plan. And there's a chalice. Get another bridge. Okay. They only have 4 cards. I think we just take another card from their hand, and then next turn we Thoughtcast and try to start holding up Rebuke. I think that seems solid. All right, with Thor about, someone's got to start chatting, because otherwise I'm just going to be talking to myself here, and it's definitely outrageous. Lorien Revealed, way better than a Vivisurgeon's Insight. Obviously, I wish I had Rebuke for that. They got a land and an Inquiry, maybe just another plan, another Everflowing Chalice. Okay, and a plan. Do love me a Core Skyfisher deck. I mean, I'm in love. Like, Core Skyfisher, I started playing at Scars of Mirrodin, so Glint Hawk, nostalgic. Core Skyfisher, only a couple sets before that, just one of my favorites. And the fact that they're so playable, and only a couple different like meta decks, but like decks like this can even be, decent, is pretty sweet. All right, I could Thoughtcast Glint Hawk refurb here. We're not holding up the Rebuke, but honestly, Rebuke's not looking amazing. Obviously, they're still prone to tapping out a lot. They only have 3 blue. I think we kick things off with a Thoughtcast. Double land is not great. If it let us hold up Rebuke this turn, I'd be down for it, but not really where I'm at. Don't pick up the Vault, pick up the Familiar, and play it with the Vault. There we go. We do get to put down Bridge here. Yeah, we have Rebuke next turn, but if they just draw a bunch of cards here, it's going to be kind of rough. We're not poisoned yet, which is nice. We have a pretty aggressive clock. Steady Progress is probably the worst proliferate card they could play. Like 3 mana to draw, obviously worse than Contentious Plan. I guess, what is it? Entangling Roots, just the green. Doesn't draw a card, so that one's not amazing either. But like I'm happy with them playing those. I guess this Rebuke's looking really bad with these chalices now. Maybe we top deck a Dust to Dust, take these out, and then we have Rebuke. That would be nice. They do Prologue, and then Augury. So we're at 2. They have 3 cards in hand. Boatload of mana. Not great. I would love like a Thought Cast into Duress and stuff. Relic's not bad. That lets us hold up Rebuke and still play like this bridge if we want another Rebuke. There's no way I can hold up 2 at the moment, so we just play this. Okay, Rebuke could be decent if we can catch them, but I don't think it's going to be decent, actually, with all this mana floating around. There's a Relic. Okay, one of our guys is gone, fortunately. Possible Rebuke just wasn't even worth keeping in. We didn't really have much else to bring in, though, and if we had him early, it would have been nice. All right. Skyfisher, you have done your duty. You may go. I think we just have to crack our own Relic probably here. Unless we do maybe get them with this Rebuke. Not there, though. They have a Snap. Ugh. I mean, it's more value with the Relic. That almost makes it so I don't want to crack the Relic, fortunately. Vivisurgeons, they still have 5 mana. Man, if I could double Rebuke this, I would. I cannot. I guess if they play, what, like a Deep Analysis here, we could counter it. It'd have to be something that's 4 mana at least, and only 1 blue. Another Snap. Counter this doesn't do much. Maybe we get him here with a Rebuke. I feel like they're going to weather the storm. Yeah, for a lot. And then another weather, maybe? No, that just goes to waste. Okay. They only have 5 cards. We're only at 3 poison. I think I might still crack Relic because I might just play Refurb, buy it back, play it again. No, we need to draw to Dust so badly. Maybe that's why I crack Relic, though. I feel like we kind of need to use the mana. If I play Glint Hawk, I'm already not going to be able to Dust this turn, and I really think we need it. So I think we are just going to crack Relic. I don't need to put any more counters on anything. Oh, and this guy's gone, so we have no pressure this turn. That's really annoying. Thoughtcast is good. Okay, Kenku is some pressure. I think we're going to Thoughtcast first. Glint Hawk. I can triple Refurb them this turn. Okay, that's not bad. It's not amazing, but it's what we got. They're discarding a bunch of lands, which makes this feel a lot worse, but what are you going to do? They did discard 3 lands. I mean, I guess their hand was already trash, so maybe it didn't matter, but obviously didn't know that. Vivisurgeons, brutal. There's a Prism, Contentious Plant. I mean, we put up a valiant fight, but we didn't see either Duress or any Dust to Dust, which are the 5 main sideboard cards we brought in. So that's pretty unfortunate. I mean, I guess they're running low on cards. I mean, Weather the Storm, if I don't even care about that. If they don't have any more cards, they've only got 1 in hand. Okay. Metallic Rebuke is basically useless, so I guess we're just doing this Kenku and going ham. What do we need less of? Black and blue, we already have a bunch of. Alright, and I guess I will play a Vault just in case a Rebuke comes up, but ideally they just don't have much more card draw, please. Okay, plan, and that finds a land. That would be beautiful. And they're not proliferating our bridge, which is just freaking rude, I think. But that's what I'm saying, proliferate onto the bridge. They are just rude as hell. Okay, double Inquiry, kind of rough for us. Well, I guess if these Rebukes were just any actual hard counter spell, they'd be a lot better here. Another Inquiry. Okay, I see how it is. Prism. They need more mana. Another Prism. I don't know if they're slow rolling us or if they really didn't draw any more Proliferate. They are slow rolling us. All right. Well, it was kind of close. Definitely not a matchup that's great for us. So I feel fine with how we did. That game 2 win with the Glint Hawk beats. Pretty sick. Alright, 1-1. Deck not feeling too bad. Just for reference, this is the deck list that we're not running because I accidentally submitted this deck list, which is mostly the same. However, I don't have Enforcers, which I really wanted in this deck, and that's how it goes. Did you hear there were 53 players for the Pauper 2K at the Energy event today? I did not hear that. I don't think I knew about that event, to be honest. Where was that? Where was the Energy event at? This hand looks pretty good. We get turn 2 Cryogen, turn 3 Skyfisher, Lancing. Tomorrow will be Team Trios that includes a Pauper seat. That's pretty sick. I didn't know about that. 53 for a 2K. That sounds pretty decent, I think, right? And Team Trios seems cool too. We're running pretty well. They could just be White Weenie. They could be Boros is kind of what I'm feeling. No, maybe just White Weenie. I think we might be okay. Oh, a Martyr. A Halo Hopper. Okay, that's interesting. Have not seen that. I could just Skyfisher, but that trades with a Halo Hopper just as well as Glint Hawk, so I might just want to get the Blood Fountain down. Yeah, I think we just do this, see what we draw first. Another relic. I guess maybe it would have been better to get the Black Mage's Rod down before the Blood Fountain, just because we don't need the Fountain down early. And it would be an extra ping later. So is the 2K? I assume it's just like a one-day event. It's not. Team Trios is a different event. It's not like a day 2 or anything. But if that's the case, who won that event, or what deck won? Thraben Charm down the Glint Hawk and Martyr's Soul. Hey, this is what I was expecting the first time. I played this in White Weenie, and they have an interesting Convoke looking deck. Let me check for you. If you want to. I mean, you certainly don't have to, but I appreciate it. I'm interested in the event for sure. Okay. I think because we aren't hitting a land drop here potentially, I could Fanatical, but then that doesn't get any pressure down if we whiff. I kind of want to core Skyfish or a land, and then I can Relic or maybe just Tithing Blade. Obviously, this isn't the value we need, but it's the mana. It helps our mana. Tithing Blade just eats this guy, but they're probably going to have Guardian's Pledge and stuff like that, so any creature dead is probably good. I could play the Rod if they start attacking here. Blocks. Yeah, maybe Rod's fine. Ooh, is this Battle Screech? It is a Battle Screech. We have a 1 of Suffocating Fumes in our main deck, and that would be nice to draw. They swing with the 3/2s. I'm going to have to block them. Well, I'm going to have to block at least one. I could keep the Skyfisher for the birds, which means if they don't have a Guardian's Pledge, then I at least have a blocker. If I get a land, I can Kenku. I guess I could Kenku onto like a blood token if I really need. I think we keep the Skyfisher. I think we keep the Skyfisher. We're going to have 2 more birds here. Suffocating Fumes. Okay, Vault's not bad. I could Kenku as a second flying blocker. This one indestructible. Chances they have a way to remove that in their main deck are very low. So I think that's what we do. Also gives us just 2 blockers so we can block some other stuff. Looks like they're trading off some value in their creatures for speed with the Convoke, which I think is a sweet idea, but I don't know if it's working too well for them. Oh, Pack Beast is a nice include here, though. So the event is still in top 4, and Spice Rack doesn't list archetypes. Okay, fair enough. Another Battle Screech is rough. Yeah, I'll have to look into that then, because always interested to know. One thing I love about Pauper is it feels like a different deck is, like, winning every random event. And, like, I know the last Paupergeddon, there were, like, 200 John Wildfire players or something, and only one of them made it to top 32, and Cawgates won, which was outrageous, and like just tons of sweet stuff. So I'm always a big fan of that. We are gonna die here to a Guardian's Pledge. They have 4, 8, 11 creatures. We have 3 blockers, which means 8 unblocked creatures is 24 damage. I could kill one and block another, which would mean it's still 18 damage, so I'm dead if they have a Guardian's Pledge, even if I play both of those. But I don't really have a better play. I could Glint Hawk back a land, Fanatical. That doesn't really do anything. I think we hope they don't have Guardian's Pledge. Is I think what we're doing. And I think we play Tithing Blade to pick off a creature. So if they don't have it right now, I'm going to pick up the Tithing Blade for next turn, I think, so that if we don't die right away, we can at least whittle them down a little bit. That's what I'm feeling. We can also discard a card to this Blood with the Mire to try to dig a little deeper. They crack a Clue token. That's a good sign. Play a land. They have another Battle Screech. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. We need to find Suffocating Fumes quite badly. But they don't have the Guardian's Pledge, or at least they didn't do the math for the Guardian's Pledge. I think we get rid of 1 relic here, because we already have 1. We only have 1 blue anyway. Thoughtcast gives us a couple more draws. Glint Hawk. I could do another Tithing Blade Glint Hawk. We know we're still dead to the Guardian's Pledge that way. I think we get greedy, or maybe not even greedy, and this is just drawing to our outs, but we Thoughtcast. We hit a Suffocating Fumes, we win the game. That's not it. Now we can't hit it this turn with it being relevant. So I could Glint Hawk back a land and then Tithing Blade, or I could just Fanatical, hope to hit something. I guess Tithing Blade Glint Hawk doesn't keep us alive, but if they decide to start just attacking with their 12 1/1s, I would like them to lose as many as possible. So I think we Glint Hawk for that reason. Thraben Charm kills a creature of our choice rather than Tithing Blade. Where's our Suffocating Fumes? That's what I'm asking myself. It's only a 1 of, and we got 42 cards to go. But if we can get it, we will be in the business. Inspector. Okay. Crack a clue. They just have a Skyfisher. Okay. Yeah, so if they don't swing here, we just offering and keep digging for it. They have the Pack Beast again. Oh, that might have been a good one to shoot with this, but it's okay. I think digging is more important here. You can get rid of the Black Mage's Rod, I think. I mean, they could attack. They would hit in for 8, but they would lose 4 birds, which is pretty relevant. Yeah, we'll get rid of the Rod. Not there. Metallic Rebuke. They have mana for it, but if they play anything first, it could maybe counterspell them. So I think we leave that up just in case. So what? I offering map, and then I still have it. I could do that now, or I could just Skyfisher again. Pick up land, because we can replay a land. Yeah, I think we just keep doing this. Play that. We technically have Rebuke and Thraben Charm, or Offering. I mean, they're looking for a card too, and they're looking for, I would assume, like a 3 or 4 of. There's an Inspector, but like now if they draw the Guardian's Pledge and they go for it, we can Rebuke it, which would be pretty sweet. So I almost hope they draw it now and then attack with everybody. Doomed Traveler. I think we're going to let that resolve. I don't think that's what we're going for here. Martyr Soul's a 3/2. I don't think we're countering that either. They have another Convoke guy. Conclave Phalanx. When this creature enters, you gain 1 life for each creature you control. 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. They gain 19 life. Does that matter? I think that's fine. We're only going to win this if we wipe their board anyway. Oh, 20 life because they didn't count it. Yeah, I think that's fine. Respect opponent. I mean, I think their deck's, yeah, sweet. Like, I'm a big fan. Bauble and Refurb are not bad. I just would like to crush them into the dirt with a good card here. That didn't work. Refurb draws us a card for 1. Thoughtcast draws us 2. Okay. I mean, we are drawing cards. I'm just assuming they can't just kill us by attacking, but that could be wrong. They have 20 creatures, and we have 7, which means at the minimum they're dealing us 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that have more than 1 power, so we can make it 13. Plus we have at least 1 kill spell. I mean, yeah, if they just attack in, we're kind of dead regardless. I'll discard the tapped land. I mean, this is incredible for sure. Pack Beast is a pretty good draw from them. 4/3 draw card for 1 mana. Is it time? Oh, not the individual attacks with 21 creatures on board. Okay. We have a 3/3 indestructible. I can kill this 4/3. We have 2/3 that can eat a bird. 2/1 can trade with this 3/2. 2/2 here. 2/2 here. Jump this guy. And then eat a bird. Taking 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. But then I can shoot the Skyfisher. Well, we'll see if they have the Guardian's Pledge. Deal like 14 damage to this Skyfisher. Their Thraben Charm would deal 42 damage. Okay, we go to like 5. Yeah, I mean, we're... Come on. I guess we should have been killing the 1/2s just in case we actually get there. I should have killed another Inspector. Fanatical draws us 2, and that's what we're hoping for. Drawn through half our deck, which means if it was a 2 of, we would find it. They're holding. We found it. Oh my gosh. We found the fumes, and we have Metallic Rebuke if they have something. But we need to do it now while they don't have 6 mana. I shouldn't have played... it doesn't... No, I should have played the Seat. It doesn't matter. I have to tap this bridge. Yeah, I have to tap bridge regardless because it's not blue. Okay, well, let's... If I want to hold up the Rebuke, which I certainly do. Let's wipe the board mostly. I mean, I don't know how they'd have any pump spell here that they didn't use, but just in case, I would like this Rebuke to be up. So they're going to be left with a 1/2, 2/4, 4/3. Oh, they do have something. Thraben Charm. That's going to work. We'll be left with 4 creatures. We had to tap our bridge for this, which maybe I shouldn't have tapped the bridge. I can block this. 2, 3. Actually, you know what? We're going to tap out because we're going to play this Bauble. I'd like to kill this Pack Beast because currently it can attack in pretty effectively because I tapped my bridge, which... I kind of thought was the best, and I don't know if that actually is the case. But now we have block, take only a little bit. They are attacking. What are the chances they have any pump spell that would deal 3 or would give +3/+3? And I should not block like this. In white? Feels very unlikely. Well, I'm going to block like this. And hope they don't have it. They have the Guardian's Pledge. Okay, they eat both our guys, and I did. Yeah, it was not great. I can play a Black Mage's Rod. I have a flyer. I'm at 1. Oof. Block here. I can Tithing Blade them. All right, Black Mage's Rod, Tithing Blade. It's gonna keep us alive, and then I can hold up the Rebuke. I guess I could map. I'll leave this up just in case I could bobble if they don't attack in and I don't need Rebuke or anything. It's gonna be a Crafter Tithing Blade kind of game. Kind of looking that way. We do need to whittle them down from 39. All right, we've stabilized, question mark. We're gonna crack this bauble, get rid of a bridge, keep another bauble. I just want anything that kills a creature. Bauble, I should yield to that. We'll pick off this inspector and play a relic. Thoughtcast is not bad. Let's do that. Refurb's good, although I can't do it and hold up Relic. Is Relic really important? Not really. By Relic, I mean Rebuke. And I'd like to take their card, even if it is just like a land. And it was a land. Bridge, and I guess we'll map. Oh, I also have a Blood Fountain. So I'm not going to map onto this. I guess we'll map onto the bridge. We hit a Ghostly Flicker. We'll leave that on top. Ghostly Flicker seems pretty good. I don't want to attack with this because then they could attack past this. Plus, theoretically, if they find 2 removal spells, they could kill these. But they're probably not going to top deck 2 removal spells, in my estimation. Pack Beast. Okay. Well, that's what I wanted the Rebuke for. And I was like, oh, I probably don't need it this time. Well, probably did, after all. Ghostly Flicker, though, is pretty hot. I might pop out this graveyard. I could Blood Fountain back Kenku and something else. Hold up this. I think Kenku feels good, and so we might as well just Familiar. Leave up a white here. Play the Familiar. Take their card. It's like Squadron Hawk. Okay, that's good to know about. And I can take their card with this Ghostly Flicker. I think that's probably worth it. We're gonna... Oh, I have to tap this, though. The bridge. I don't want to tap that before their attacks. Okay, never mind. I was getting fancy with it, and I'm gonna regret it if they play something pretty good here. It's a Halo Hopper. I can live with that. All right, we are gonna flicker this Relic and probably just the Tithing Blade. Yeah, I'm gonna flicker these. This has been a long game. I need to hurry it up a little bit. So they lose a guy and I draw 2. We get a Skyfisher and a Tithing Blade. Okay, so I'm just gonna Tithing them twice. Just remove their creatures, and that should make it so we can't lose, ideally. Question mark. Thoughtcast, swing for, what is this, 10? And we have a Metallic Rebuke, which we will use on anything that costs 4 or more. This looks like it costs 3. That's a Halo Hopper. That's fine. Oh, Glint Hawk buys back our Tithing Blade. Tithing, attack. I should have played Kenku because that would have been more damage. We are, in fact, going to craft a Blade here, and we got him next turn. They have a Doomed Traveler. I think that's okay. All right. Well, it took quite a while, and I tanked probably longer than I should have. We're at 11 minutes, but we got there. That was game 1. And we do get Arms of Hadar. Yes, please. Duress, Compass. Nothing else looks great here. I mean, Halo Hopper is an artifact, but I think that's their only one we've seen. Thraben Charm kills a creature. Not really what we need. It also destroys graveyards, which works with the Battle Screech only if they have like a Lunarch Veteran, which we didn't see. Duress. They're mostly creatures. They have Thraben Charms, Guardian's Pledge, Battle Screech. I mean, the Battle Screeches looked insane there, and I don't mind an answer to them, but they drew 3 of them, and pretty early too, so that was really the reason. I think Arms of Hadar is really our only card to bring in, and this is going to be not great when they Dust to Dust us. I guess Duress for Dust to Dust preemptively might be pretty important. And cast downs don't do too much. I guess Thraben Charm less, so. Alright. That's what we're going to try. 1 swamp. We're not going to keep that. A bunch of lands. We'll keep this one and get rid of one of our blues, I think. Hope we don't get Dust to Dusted. They're playing some off-meta main deck cards, so maybe they're playing some off-meta sideboard cards. Ooh, I might swamp on turn 2, so that if we do get Dust to Dusted, it's not 2 lands. It's just like the Relic and the bridge. That seems kind of good to me. They go for the Hawk. Black Mage's Rod. Think Rod just lets us trade off for this. Kill a guy earlier. Yeah, I guess that's okay. Not an amazing use of it, but if they're going to go as wide as they did last time, I'd like to kill off their creatures. Plus, every creature they have helps them Convoke, which we've seen they have at least a handful of Halo Hoppers and Martyr's Soul. Skyfisher for a land. Okay, we know that game. Ancient Den. I think I just do this Relic and pass. I mean, we could get down another Relic and then potentially Ghostly Flicker 2 Relics to draw 4. Pretty good. They're just playing a Hawk, which is not bad, although we are under a lot of pressure here. I mean, it could be worse, but like this is still 4 and then 5 next turn. Definitely a lot. Arms of Hadar would be a nice draw. Rebuke. I can't really afford to hold that up if I want to Relic or anything here. I could just Fanatical Relic, but I kind of want to hold that for Flickering. I think we're going to get rid of this Rod. That's pretty good. Although we tapped 2 black, so I can't Grimbauble and Refurb, which is annoying, which means I guess if I Refurb, they could get a Hawk or a Battle Screech. I guess we have the Rebuke for it, though. But I could be putting a Battle Screech in their graveyard, but they just discard a Hawk. I guess part of me doesn't want to block because I could Grimbauble one of these down, flicker it with the Skyfisher, ping that. They get a land. I mean, this is 13 damage if I don't block. Well, I guess I have the Rebuke. Actually, I have the Rebuke. I think maybe we just leave it and just take the 5 here. Oh, well, they looked very eager to tap out, but then held it back. Maybe they realized Rebuke was an option. Crack a Clue after all that. Okay. I could counter a 1-drop. Okay. Glint Hawk's not bad. So we're going to Grimbauble down a Hawk. Play an Ancient Den. Glint Hawk it back. And I think I'm just going to hold up Ghostly Flicker here. I guess I'm not doing the Ghostly Flicker with the Grimbauble, but like I can also just double block this, or I could like chump and flicker or something. 2 mana for a Hawk. I accept. Salt Road Pack Beast. That I will counter. I think maybe I should just save the counter for the Guardian's Pledge, but it feels like they Convoke too. Okay. Feels like we got to kill something there, though. Getting rid of the one that draws a card is good. Bauble takes out the Halo Hopper. Map onto the Hawk. Skyfisher on top. We will leave up the Ghostly Flicker. Doomed Traveler. And then Guardian's Pledge right now. Interesting. So I could Ghostly Flicker and pick off one of these in response. I think I'd like to just kill this in response. I think it's fine. I mean, it's not great, but I can block here, and then I can flicker our Bauble and our Refurb. So I keep this alive. I trigger the Bauble to shrink the Skyfisher, and then keep my Glint Hawk alive. And we go to 3, but we keep our guys, which I think is the most important thing. They discard a Battle Screech, yep. Scary. Skyfisher, that's good. We knew about that, though. Oh, I don't even know if I take back the Relic, though. I think I might just need to kill creatures. So I think we just Bauble and pick off a bird. And if I attack and they have another Pledge, I kind of just die. Unless I crack this Relic on one of these. I don't think that's what I want to do. I think I just want to hold up Fanatical, though. And they crack a Clue. Flashback Battle Screech. And they have the Phalanx again. Okay. They gain so much life. Let's draw 3 here. Looking for Arms of Hadar, ideally. Glint Hawk. Alright, we're going to start with a Relic, draw a card, Thoughtcast. I've been pinched on blue this whole time, so that doesn't work very well. Glint Hawk back, a Bauble, Bauble down a bird, and we got it, so might as well map onto, I guess, this guy so it doesn't trade with a 1-drop. Or 1 power guy. Grimbauble we'll leave on top. And we have 4 blockers. We do die to a Guardian's Pledge, but they have a land drop. It's a Battle Screech. Oh my gosh. Once again, we are desperately looking for Suffocating Fumes or Arms of Hadar. At least we have 2 now. Although actually, is it just 2? Did I have a third Arms? No, it was just 1. Oh, this isn't the right list anyway. This match has been a slog. It certainly has. I agree. Bauble, Thoughtcast. I mean, it's going to end pretty quick here if we don't draw something good. I think this time we are just drawing. I could still find a Suffocating Fumes. And Bauble, I think they're going to have us this time. And we're low on time, so I don't really want to waste any. But yeah, they have 5. Yeah, if they attack with everybody, they're going to get us. Pack Beast. We'll see if they decide to make that attack, though. Thraben Charm? No, Skyfisher. Okay. I mean, doing that pre-combat, I guess they pick up the Pack Beast. Yeah, draw another. That makes sense. They are going to go for it. I mean, if I have 1 removal spell, I survive this. But we don't. So we are dead. Well, just send it back. Try to find our board wipes again. This one looks okay. Again, we're having that issue that I mentioned with our mana, that we don't have enough blue and stuff. I fixed that in the other list I was going to play, and then I accidentally submitted the wrong list, like a goob. So this is where we're at. Fanatical. I guess I just play the Rod, so that next turn I can play Familiar and Duress, and like a Bridge or something if I draw it, I suppose. 2 men for a Hawk. They swing. I mean, I really don't think the damage matters from the Black Mage's Rod, and I'd rather just keep their guys off the field. I think we're doing that. And then I'm going to sack this, I suppose. Duress. I think I'm just starting with Fanatical on this, so I can play a bridge if I get it. I could still play a refurb here. We don't get anything amazing. Yeah, this is one where I really feel like if our mana was just a little bit better, we'd be okay. And it is not better. And that's frustrating. They have a Doomed Traveler. Let's see, do I block here? Yep, I feel like it. Don't see any... I mean, if I get a Glint Hawk or whatever, perfect. Then it's not great, because I would have preferred it to be gone. I'm going to duress them. Obviously, it could be whiff, but I kind of hope, well, if we could take like a Guardian's Pledge or something, it would have been pretty nice. And that was not the case. Let's see, I can Glint Hawk and Rod. So if I could have taken like a Battle Screech, then I could Spellbomb it, but alas. All right, we're going to play the Glint Hawk and then play the Rod. All right, so they have Skyfisher, Conclave, and Martyr's Soul. I mean, not the scariest board ever. And that was their draw. Inspector. Then a Skyfisher. Play it again. Sam. Blood Fountain. Not what we need. I guess I'll Spellbomb. The only thing they have that Spellbomb matters for that we've seen is a Battle Screech, which is not going to work the turn they play it. So I'm just going to do this and hope we draw something, and we do. I guess I just pick up this Black Mage's Rod so that we get another blocker. Convoking out a Martyr's Soul. This time it's finally going to get 2+1/+1 counters because they have no tapped lands when it enters, which is big. Another Crack a Clue. Crack another clue. What are they looking for? Duress. Well, we know 2 of their cards, so Duress does not look very handy here. Gonna Black Mage's Rod and play a Blood Fountain. Imagine if we'd had blue and we could have Cryogen Relic and brought that back with the Glint Hawks. I think we'd be in a much better spot. Or if we had Mirror Enforcers in our deck, it'd be pretty good too. They're swinging with these guys. Ugh. It's pretty bad if they have a Thraben Charm here, but let's hope that doesn't happen. I don't think they have a yep, there it is. I don't think they have a Guardian's Pledge because they didn't attack with everything. There's an Inspector. Not even playing the other guy. I guess we map to see if we find a blue source. Put that into our graveyard, please. Discard this Duress. If Duress isn't going to help us here, all right. Well, again, these are the issues that I believe I have fixed in the other version. Not at the moment. We're going to have to suffer. I do think their list is kind of cool. I think the Convokers have some merit. I think Conclave Phalanx probably not necessary. Maybe a sideboard card against like a red or something for life gain is sweet. To be honest, I don't think we're getting out of this one. I mean, I guess if I draw, Suffocating doesn't even do it. Arms of Hadar and a land. All right, we're gonna scoop this one up. Yeah, rough game 3 for sure, but that's what happens when we don't have the Compass or Prophetic Prism in our main deck. So, what are you gonna do? Kind of sweet deck from the opponent. I agree. I like it. I always like seeing a brew, and I hate losing, but I like losing to a brew a lot more than I like losing to a meta deck. So no, I think it was cool for sure. Man, these queues today are killing. 3 minutes? Outrageous. All right, we have our opponent. We have the classic. We're on the play. We have good mana, or at least pretty decent. I think we keep this hand. It doesn't look amazing, but our deck is built around these creatures. We only need to find 1 artifact for it to be pretty good. If it's like a Blood Fountain or a Nile Spellbomb, it's not going to be amazing, but still could be, at least we could start deploying these. I'm going to start with the blue bridge too, even though our hand's all white, because we want to play a Cryogen Relic if we find it. And there's the Blood Fountain. Well, we're going to play that, and yeah, if I don't draw another artifact, I might just have to pick that up with the Skyfisher. At least we get more blood out of it and don't have to pick up a land, which is pretty big. Looks like we're against Rakdos Madness, Cleansing Wildfire. Okay, Jund Wildfire in that case. Thoughtcast is good. I can play that right now, so let's do so. Another Thoughtcast. It's tough because this is not going to be an aggro game. This is going to come down to value. For that reason, I don't think I want to play a Glint Hawk here. I could, and I could start pressuring them. And if they don't play a creature for 3 or 4 turns, I think that could really be powerful and add up. But if they just play a Chrysalis here, then I've kind of just wasted my Glint Hawk. If they play a Refurb, it's about the same. If they play a Wildfire. Yeah, I mean, maybe I get in for 1 hit here, but still not necessarily amazing. If they have another Wildfire, then that would be outrageous. Cork Clan Shaman, I can live with that. All right, I think we're going to ditch our bridge here. Just try to draw into something. Kenku's fine. It's not amazing. I think we're digging still. Like, I can Kenku and, hit in for 3? I'd really rather be drawing cards. We get an Offering. Well, I don't want to Offering this Fountain. Fountain's going to be good. So I could play a Glint Hawk, pick up the Fountain, and then hold up Fanatical for the Glint Hawk. I could just play a Kenku even so, but then it kind of taxes my mana too in a weird way. I guess at this point we can get 1 Glint Hawk on the field and pick up the Blood Fountain. And then I probably won't Fanatical unless they try to kill it, but still. There's a refurb. I can discard a bridge here, I think. I mean, maybe getting a little greedy, but I think it's fine. Hello? I have a cat who is very loud every time she enters the room. Okay, that's annoying. I mean, they're not going to have any way to answer the bridge in the main deck, and they have these familiars, so I think we do discard. It's tough, because as soon as we get a Cryogen, I want a million of these guys. I don't want to discard the bridge. I think maybe it is just the Kenku for now, and we can get it back with the Blood Fountain, maybe, until they Spellbomb it. I don't really want to just offering this away. All we're getting is lands, though. Okay, Blood Fountain. All right, I'm going to Fanatical this blood. There's a Relic, finally. I guess I'll map onto the Glint Hawk in case they don't have a kill spell and I can block. Metallic Rebuke is a lot less effective when they know about it, so I think we're just going to bin that off the top. They do have the cast down. I was hoping they would do that last turn when I could sack it. They Insight a bridge away. Okay, guess I can live with that. Swing with the crew for 5. That is kind of a nasty hit. Bobble's nice, but I think we start with a Cryogen. Seat, give up white black, so I think we will play a Skyfisher because it can block, pick up the Relic. I can also play a Bauble if I want, which I think I will. Pick off a refurb, play a bridge and pass. I mean, them sacking their lands to the Insight's pretty telling that they don't have a lot going on here. But Jukabog kind of annoying when I have Kenku and Glint Hawk and a Blood Fountain on board. Refurb, we have plenty of lands to discard at this point, so I can live with that. I feel like they don't have a cast down because they probably would have used it before the Bajukabog so that they could get rid of the Skyfisher too. This is a Hydra for 4 because they don't have a... No, they're just inciting the Krark. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, we get a refurb. I can take 2 cards in their hand. I like that, but I don't think it's better than just drawing 2 and taking 1 card from their hand. You're drawing a lot of lands, but we're not out of value yet. There's more lands. Okay, that's pretty annoying, but let's play the Relic. Probably shouldn't have played my land yet. Thraben Charm can exile their graveyard, which could be relevant. I guess I'll play a familiar. Maybe I should have just left up the Thraben Charm in case they get a Blood Fountain and, like, sack one of these or something. Discard a Toxin Analysis. Pass. Wildfire. I think I should probably crack this. Bauble in our upkeep. Go digging for something. Wellspring. Pfft, you are old and not useful anymore. I'm the upgrade. All right, we're sacking the Bauble. Trying to find not lands here. Tithing Blade and Refurb, those are not bad. I kind of like Tithing first so that I can attack. And then if they trade, I have Thraben Charm up for a Blood Fountain. Then Refurb's good next turn. Trade with the Refurb. Pass. If one of our creatures dies, then we can Blood Fountain next turn. If they don't, I could flip the Tithing Blade, although I'd have to be losing a creature from our graveyard for that. Chrysalis is annoying. That kind of forces me to use Thraben Charm on it rather than on the graveyard, which is fine for now, but will be problematic later. We do get this refurb. Also, if they have a cast down, they could throw off our Thraben Charm, but it'd have to be their last card. I think we try to kill it. Nice. That works, and so I get to attack. They're down to 12. I think for that reason, we do craft our Tithing Blade. Just keep pinging them for damage. Maybe this is bad because we can't get the refurb back from the Blood Fountain now, but if we get even just like one more hit in for 6, then this just keeps pinging them down. They have a refurb. We have a beautiful land to discard to them. Oof, now it looks like they have the Hydra, which is actually pretty problematic. I mean, I guess we can tap down onto the Relic. Oh, they put it on this. Okay. I guess our Relic really throws them off because they could have put it on a spawn and attacked for 8, but then actually our Relic tapping it down is kind of rough. Now it's hard to attack in unless I find another Thraben Charm. Fanatical's not bad. I think we just use that on the Relic. I think draw 3. Maybe I should have just done it on a land. I don't know. Draw 3 feels pretty good here. Spellbomb's not bad. Refurb is a redraw. Now we're cooking. Cast down is great, which means I just crafted this, but I can pick up the Tithing Blade, eat their guy, cast down the other half, and then spellbomb them as well, which will be pretty good, I think. Attack for 6, and then we can always craft the Tithing Blade later if we want, but yeah, that's going to win us the game. Here we get Dust to Dusts, more Thraben Charms, and Duress. Bauble's not as useful. Cast down's great. Rod, I don't think is what we need here. Fumes, we don't need. They're probably going to have exile artifact removal, so Kenku gets worse. I feel like Kenku might... I mean, I took Kenku out of my other list. It's good. Sometimes it's amazing in game 1, but almost every single opponent's going to have an answer to it after game 1, so I don't know. Have not been a big fan, which is why I removed it. Yeah, one of Blood Fountain Spellbomb's nice. I like Dust to Dust. Rebuke is decent. Maybe we don't need... I mean, 3 Charm Graveyard, damage to a creature, and enchantment removal is all really nice. So I like 4 of those, honestly. I think we can lose a Rebuke. They do lose their value in the late game against Wildfire. Not a keepable hand. This one is pretty dang good. I think we just go full greed. I don't even know if it's full greed. We can't play the duress right now, so it makes sense to get rid of. And then this is a million cards. We just hope our lands don't get destroyed. That's not bad. Obviously we would prefer a black-white land or black-blue or anything, unless if this one gets destroyed, then I guess this is fine. They have a Wellspring, so we're definitely just gonna play a Relic. All right, we're hitting land drops. That's good. Looking just like Azorius. Oh, not anymore. That's nice. Excuse me. Alright, they have another Wellspring. They could refurb here, in which case... Oh, they kept Krarkson? That's kind of weird. I mean, I guess it lets them cycle their Wellsprings, but I just don't know why they would even keep it in after seeing that our whole deck is flyers. Vault of Whispers is not bad. I think we just Glint Hawk and replay the Relic, unless we draw something better. But then that lets me on curve do Skyfisher and Relic again next turn, and then Raven Charm. Yeah, we don't need to play that. And then the following turn I can Skyfisher Relic again with a bridge. Seems pretty good. Sack their landscape. They have a bridge. So 2-drop, Wildfire, Lembas. Okay. I think I like our engine a little better at the moment. Another Charm. I wouldn't mind some more diverse removal, but not a bad card. We are going to get... We're going to have to discard some cards here. But we also have a lot of lands, so that's probably fine. Duress isn't bad. Actually, I'm at 9. If I just... If this was a black land, I would probably duress them. Although I couldn't have left up a black land because then I couldn't replay Relic. So, well, in that case, we're just gonna replay the Relic. I could still duress them. I wouldn't have to discard, but I think it's okay. We have enough white and black at the moment, I think. I'd rather the untapped and the blue. They have a Wellspring. It's good when they're still just drawing cards here. Like, we're doing that too, but we're also developing threats. And it would be a lot scarier if they started putting out Chrysalises at this point. But yeah, they're drawing even more. I mean, they could put out a refurb if they find one, but they are going to discard 2, it looks like. Maybe discard 2 cards? They duress us. Not terrible. This is irrelevant. They could take our duress, and they do. Or our thought cast, but we still have the Relic to draw, which we might just be doing anyway. Refurb. Okay. Duress would be nice to have, because I kind of want to know if they have a breath weapon, so that I wouldn't want to put the refurb down, but I guess it only takes refurb and Glint Hawk. We still keep 2 Skyfishers. So we're going to Skyfisher the Relic. Like, look, this is just incredible, right? Why wouldn't you want to do this? Cast down's pretty good. And then Relic again, and then we'll refurb. Another refurb. Very nice. We have someone at my locals on a similar list. I think they're 8-1 in the past 3 weeks. I mean, it feels pretty good to me. My first 2 leagues with the deck were not great. I was on, I was like 2-3 in both of them, but I definitely feel like it's felt very like high potential. And then I built they did have a breath weapon. Okay. And then I built a new list, which I accidentally submitted the old list here. So I'm playing the wrong list, but, and I built it in paper. They also cast down. That's brutal. And I took it to locals today and did 3-0, which is pretty nice. And so that was the christening of the deck in paper. And then I played a league with it last night and went 4-1 with a very close last game. And so it's felt real nice to me. They're at 4 cards. I mean, they've done nothing this entire game, which feels really nice. I mean, we're going to draw 2, play a refurb, and just hold up a million interaction spells, I think. Seems pretty good. And I'll pass. Are you still... You're usually on familiars, is that right? You still running that? Duress, that's fine. Fanatical Offering. Yeah, they're just not getting anywhere with these card draw spells. Yep, just move over to the High Tide Jolted Awake build. It's been a learning process. Yeah, I mean, Familiar seems like a pretty complicated deck in general. I realize once you get the hang of it, it's probably pretty straightforward, but definitely a new build with High Tide and Jolted Awake would be interesting. How's the Jolted Awake work into it? I'm assuming you're not running a Tune with Ether or anything, are you? Or not a Tune with Ether, Tune the Narrative. Is it just Jolted to bring back, like, Relic or something? Since they can get artifacts? Swing for 4 here, and... I mean, I don't think we need to do a dang thing. They definitely need to put a Chrysalis down on the field or something here. They have a refurb. Very well. We'll discard. Just Jolted brings back Relic, Familiar, and is only slightly awkward bringing Archaeomancer back. Okay. Sack a Landscape. Key for when you're running Archaeologist. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that seems pretty interesting. Do you think that list is better, or is it just something new and interesting that you're trying out? Let's see. We can cast down the Chrysalis. I mean, I'd probably just Thraben Charm the Refurb, right? Something new and interesting for now. Yeah. Seems good. Okay, Insight. I could exile that from their graveyard if I want. I don't want them to block with this, so I'm going to kill it. I'm just trying to figure out if I want to hold a cast down, and I think I do. So we will... Oh, they just concede? Okay. I was going to shoot this with my Thraben Charm. Will it let me do that? Hey, it will. That's weird. And then exile their graveyard, and then I have a cast down. And then next turn we draw a Thoughtcast into a Fanatic. That's pretty good. All right. We're 2-2. That's not too bad. Always had decent success at the locals with FAMs, just that no one is ever familiar with it. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough deck to play against. There's a handful of decks in the format that, especially while I was learning the format, it felt like I could never win against. They always had the answers, and Familiars was definitely one of those decks. They didn't actually always have the answers, but it was just I didn't really know how to play against them, and they do draw a lot of cards, so they certainly have a lot of utility happening and stuff like that. But once I learned that you just want to blow up all their creatures, or at least the relevant ones, it generally goes a little bit better for me. I guess this hand's fine. We have no white and we have no birds, but we can get a Relic down. Kenku's pretty good in game one, unless they're on counter spells. That's not fair. I guess let's walk into a Spell Pierce. No, nice. Tithing Blade. If they're Terror, Tithing could be really good. Madness people see God Faithful and Vomit. Yeah, I mean, I think that's hilarious that it's not just playable, but a staple and so good in that deck, because it's just I mean, I played a lot of Hour of Devastation, and it's just kind of a draft chaff card from that set, but it works very well in that deck, and it's pretty sweet that it does. Okay, we have no white here, which is kind of awkward for this Thraben Charm. But yeah, also 4 toughness. So like, if it had the same effect but it was 3 toughness, at least they could bolt it. But since it's 4, it's like, what do they do? Unless they're on like a Galvanic Blast build, but that's not super common. All right, looks like they're on Dimir. Could be Dimir Control, could be Dimir Terror. Could just be like a blue Terror splashing the black for the Snacker, but they have a basic swamp, so that makes me think they're definitely a little more than otherwise. I could Kenku with Rebuke. I mean, we don't have anything else to do, right? It means I can't attack with the guy this turn, but I actually think that's reasonable, since we can at least fight a counterspell. And then, unless they have like Agony Warp in their main deck, or Extract a Confession, this is going to be pretty good. They do get to flip their Tithing Blade. No, our Tithing Blade is what's in our hand. Their Vector Glider. If they don't bring back the Snacker, I can Tithing that away, which would be nice. I guess I could Suffocating Fumes the Snacker and then Tithing if I need to, but would rather not have to do that all at once if I don't have to. Got an Island and a Gurmag. Okay. Ooh, White Source? No. If I got a White Source, I could Thraben this and then Tithing the Gurmag. I mean, this holds back Gurmag, which is nice. Now we really need a White Source. I guess I could just play Tithing Blade. If we get the White Source, we can pick it back up, but they could just definitely have another creature by then. Kind of feels like we don't have much else to do, though. So I think we play this, and in fact, I think I might attack with a Bridge, because I can chump block with the Artificer, good for Blood Fountains and such, and then I can Relic down the Angler, which I probably am going to either cycle this or crack a Relic to draw a card here anyway. But if we hit a White Source, we got some good card draw or a Tithing Blade coming back. Chump works. Thorn of the Black Rose. That is very ambitious. Well, we do get to tap this down. And then, I mean, Suffocating can prevent the power from Thorn for a turn, which I might have to, seeing as I only have a tapped White Source here. But then we could take the Monarch for a turn. Thoughtcast. If I had one more mana, I could do the Fumes, and I could keep this tapped another turn. Although it's already not untapping here. Actually, I don't have to. I could do that next turn. Okay, let's Thoughtcast. Bauble. I could Bauble Fumes together, tag team a removal spell on this Thorn, and then we have the Monarch. But then I don't get this Bridge down. That's kind of bad. Then, yeah, I could just Bauble, Skyfisher Bauble if I really need next turn. Okay. I kind of liked that, but then we wouldn't get White Source down, and I really need that, especially for these guys. So I think we're just going to have to Fumes to keep the Monarch for a turn. And if they have a counterspell, they're going to get it anyway. They're going to... But ideally, they can't deal with the Bridge, and we'll still be fine. Okay, that works. I mean, we basically just 3 mana, prevent them from drawing a card, and we draw a card at our end step, but still not bad. They do have more counterspells, though. We're probably going to Relic this. Let's Glint Hawk, see if that eats a counterspell. And they concede. I mean, honestly, with Glint Hawk, Tithing Blade, Relic down this, and an indestructible creature, them giving us the Monarch was pretty good for us. Okay. Morth Raven Charm seems good. Duress seems good. That's pretty much it. I don't think Fumes is amazing in this match. It hits Snacker, and that's the only thing it really kills, but obviously it was pretty nice there. Cast Down's good. Spell Bomb. Bauble doesn't feel great either. Again, Snacker's like the only thing. I'm anticipating they probably have maybe Terrors, definitely at least 1 or 2 Murmuring Mystics. Are they going to have Extract or Agony Warp for the Kenku? Because otherwise I could just keep this in. Feels like they'll probably have something for it. I don't think we need Rods. So that's pretty much all we need to swap unless I want to bring in any Compasses, which I think I do. Like I said, my main deck, I think Compasses are pretty good. And they're just not in this version main deck, so I think Fumes can go. Rebuke is pretty good. Flicker's decent. Not really anything else to cut, I guess. Kenku. I guess I could cut the Kenku. It was so good there. Although they might take out the Monarch because of how wrecked they got. Does that seem likely? I think we'll cut. We'll hedge against them, bringing in stuff against the Kenku and just take it out. I think that seems fair. It already did quite a bit of work. All right, last game. That's very presumptuous that I'm going to win. I did not mean to say that. Potentially the last game, but definitely not for sure. Again, our mana's looking a little rough. We do have Familiar on 2 into Offering. We have a Thraben Charm. We're on the draw, which makes any hand keepable. Let's give it a try. All right, I don't mind another land. I would prefer it to be a blue source. Luckily, we don't really have to worry too much about our lands getting blown up here since they are blue-black, unless they have Steel Sabotage or this splash is real. Skyfisher's good. If they have a null, they're going to get us pretty much any time, but if not, this Familiar's nice here, and it looks like it goes through right away. Then next turn I can Skyfisher it, hit him again. Of course, they could just discard a Snacker or something, and maybe we're helping them, but especially if they have Brainstorm Fetch here, getting a Snacker out that would feel bad. But they took a while to choose, so I didn't anticipate that was going to happen. And they get rid of a Snuff Out, which is fair. Not an amazing card here, although decent with the Skyfisher. All right, still don't have Counterspell mana up, so I can kind of feel comfortable attacking. The deck command is not working. I have been working on it, or rather I worked on it, and for some reason it was just not working. So let me just set it here. This is what we're working with right now. I actually brewed a slightly different updated deck list and meant to submit that list for this league, and then I did not. I accidentally submitted this old one that I played in a couple weeks ago, and so this is what we're playing. But we're 2-2, not doing too poorly with it, and then I think we might have time to try the new version out a bit. Okay, that's annoying. Cast down the Familiar. Should have thought about that, but I guess that's fine. We will pick up an Ancient Den. But yeah, I'm gonna do my very best to figure out how to get the commands actually working for next time, because I spent like an hour on it this afternoon and it didn't work. Compass is interesting. If it resolves, it's pretty good. It's kind of not one people are probably going to want to counter, so I bet it probably will resolve. But it'll actually be really good for us, because then we can get Relic down. If they counter Relic, that's fine. The next turn I can get like a Thoughtcast going or something. So choose Island. This is now an island. We'll play a Relic. That does not get countered. What do they have? I guess just like Gurmags and stuff. They could have played a Gurmag there though. Lorien revealed. Okay. Now we can Thoughtcast Familiar. Seat is a nice draw. So I think we just... See, I have enough... let's just play Seat and then Thoughtcast and see where that takes us. Okay. Refurb and play another Cryogen, I guess. I could hold up mana, so I could Thraben Charm if they like discard and try to bring back a Snacker. I think I'd rather just get these guys on the field. Island again. All right. Let's see if they have any interaction this time, or if they just cast another Lorien, which, you know, I would be okay with. I'm not complaining about that. They do have a Modern Age. See what that pitches. I don't know if you can hear, there are light fireworks in the background. We do that a lot around here. Really tanking on what to discard. Those fireworks are comboing off on MTGA. Comboing on MTGA? The casual app? What are you comboing with? That's disgusting. They get rid of a spell. Lumra? Yeah, that's fair. That does seem kind of cool. And Port of Carfell? Is that right? Snuff Out? Okay. Yep. Yeah, I was seeing that Mill guy, who's another creator who does some Pauper stuff, talking about Lumina combos and stuff. Seems interesting. I could just Offering here and dig for something, but I think we're in a fine spot, and I don't want to do it when they have a bunch of mana up, so I'll just do it at their end step. Discard a Bog. They have another Modern Age. Discard a land. Okay. They do not have a lot going for them, but these guys are coming off, I suppose. We can sack one Relic, I think, to an Offering. I guess we will Offering this map as well. Keep one Relic around. Draw another. We'll swing for 2. Feels like they need some more threats. Play a Relic. Maybe should have just mapped this, made it a little bigger. We're gonna need to anyway if it wants to get past these guys. I'll just play a bridge here. Discard another. Is Lumina combo in Pioneer? Is that what you're playing it in, or is it in... I guess Pioneer's not technically on MTGA, is it? It's like Explorer or something? Or is that Standard? No, Port isn't in Standard. I'm trying to learn formats, but it's taken a while. They got a Brainstorm, but not a Snacker in sight. So, no issues with that. We could just Tithing the Vector Glider, which is nice. I think we just hold this cast down for if they ever hit like a Mystic or a Gurmag, maybe. Something actually scary. No offense to the Vector Glider. Alright, they got another Modern Age. I would like them to let me use this Rebuke at some point. I mean, I could use it and they tap him out. That's not a terrible idea, but I don't think it's necessary. I guess I could just Thraben Charm this at the end step. Then if they counter, I can counter back. And I keep my cast down, and they don't have anything in the graveyard I really care about. I think that seems reasonable. I was thinking I couldn't because I only have one creature, but it's an enchantment, so I can just do that. And that works. Another Thraben Charm. Let's map onto this, make it a 2-turn clock. Spell Bomb. I mean, I'll keep that on top. It cycles and shuts off Gurmags and things. Swing for 3. Alright. Flip another Vector Glider. Discard Thorn of the Black Rose. Fair. They have all their mana up. I mean, I think we just try to blow it up again. Let's see if they have anything to say about it. Counter spell. Oh, let me tap properly. So we leave up a blue. I will cast down as well. Then if they counter, I have a Rebuke, and then a Tithing Blade, Spell Bomb. Alright, they haven't conceded, so I assume they have something. So I'm going to try to cycle this pre-combat. They have a Spell Stutter Sprite. Okay, well maybe that was a mistake then, but I do have this Rebuke. Alright, and that wins us a nice 3-2. Boom. Look at some prizes. That wasn't bad. Ooh, I guess this is minimized. Alright. I definitely think we have a little more time, so that wasn't bad. But let's actually try to play the list that I brought this time, which is this list. The main differences from the one I was just playing are that I have Mere Enforcers, which are going to ideally win us the game a little bit quicker than the Black Mage's Rod, which it was not very good. Every time we played it, we just kind of like traded off the guy or whatever. I've dropped the Kenku, dropped one Rebuke, and I dropped the Ghostly Flicker. I really like it, but it just didn't really fit. We've swapped it for a couple Prophetic Prisms and Compasses to make our mana better. We have 2 Spell Bombs, 2 Blood Fountains in the main deck now, because those are amazing. I've cut the Fanaticals, because honestly, I think Thoughtcast, Cryogen, and Prophetic is probably going to be good enough. We still have Cast Downs, and our sideboard, mostly the same, but I've brought in Crypt Rats as a sideboard card, basically another Arms of Hadar, but we have 11 black sources, plus the 4 Compasses and Prisms, so we have 15, and it's just a nice way to have a board wipe that's more than just 2 damage. So yeah, I think we got some time. We're going to make sure that this is Esper CryoBlade 2 before we submit here. There we go. They try to get you with that. And let's play some more. Even that, though, like that list, which I think was suboptimal, and I think this list will be better. We got a 3-2, and the games felt pretty decent. Definitely better than they were when I played it a couple weeks ago. And, yeah. Ooh, we are against the legend himself, Kerblinski. So this will be a fun one. Kerblinski, another Pauper content creator who makes some pretty dang good videos. And I'm lucky we're playing the list that I like a little bit better here because I don't have to embarrass myself. Like, look at this. This hand without a compass, terrible. With a compass, pretty dang good. We can play compass on 1. Turn 2, we can play a relic, or we can play a familiar or cast down, anything. So we can keep this hand. And they are on fairies. Okay. Now I can't just bauble, which I would do if I had a black mana. Big finale for the fireworks going off here. So I think, well, I mean, it's just play a land and play a compass, but definitely would love to bauble that guy down. But if he ninjas, I can definitely get rid of that ninja, unless there's a spell pierce or something. We could also just familiar and spell bomb maybe. Okay, we do see a hacker, very miscreant in hand. Is he going to be trying out Ilvoid Galeblade is the question, because Fairy Miscreant is the card that I would cut for the Gale Blades, but I know some other people are playing them all together, so I would bet he's probably giving it a try. Miscreant back. Skyfisher's nice. I want to get Relic down, but we need to stop this. So it's got to be Bauble or Familiar, and Bauble doesn't die to a Brine Barrow. Relic could be good. I just don't think it's where we want to be at. I think we're going to Bauble here. And if they get another ninja off of this Miscreant, it's not my favorite, but luckily the Miscreant is not doing anything, which is why personally it's a card that I would be happy to cut, because the first Miscreant sucks. Oh, I was not expecting a Generosant, I must say. Masked Vandal? Okay, well now this is just freaking rude. We don't have another land, so this is actually going to be bad. I might just have to Spellbomb him in response. Yeah, we definitely need to keep our land. Well, that is an interesting turn of events. Well, thankfully we had the Spellbomb, so we can keep our Ancient Den. What is happening? I mean, this is a fairy, so I guess it's just splash green for that, but the Generosant is a weird one. Glint Hawk's not bad. So I can Cryogen. As much as I want Cryogen down, I don't think it's what we're doing. I think we can play Skyfisher, pick up a land, and then refurb them. I think that's what we're doing. Make it a swamp, cast refurb. If we do lose a land to like another Vandal, which I guess we're putting a card in their graveyard here, it's pretty bad, but it's a Tangled Islet. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's going on beyond just this. Haunted Mire. Sultai Fairies? Snuff Out? What is happening? Okay, this is annoying, because they probably have another ninja, and if we let them rebuy the Masked Vandal, we're going to lose a land next turn. If I trade here, I could chump the Vandal and then cast it down if we're that worried about the land. I think I just take it. I could refurb them again. I could Bauble a ninja. I could cast down. Block here, I guess. Okay, no ninja. Thank God. I was really worried about that. I have no idea. I'm so flustered. I have no idea what's going on. Snuff Out and Generosant, not usually in a fairies deck. They could have a Spell Stutter, which means I can't even play a Relic for 2. Which means I just have to hold up Cast Down, right? Okay. Yeah, I think we hold up Cast Down here, because Spell Stutter's kind of rough. I guess we just try to cast this down. They didn't have the ninja last turn, but if they bring it back, it's pretty bad. And this would at least make it so that they have to tap or play their Spell Stutter. All right, it's not just that I didn't know. Like, if it was a new brew, I'd be like, oh, I'm already anticipating something funky. But when you think you know what you're playing against, then it's totally different. It's really weird. So no Spell Stutter there. They might just be keeping it for something else. Fumes is really nice. I think I really want this Relic to resolve, but I think we just Relic. If it gets Spell Stuttered, so be it. Yeah. And then I Glint Hawk, back a Bauble. I think they have a Fairies here. Okay. 1 card in hand. If we can Suffocating Fumes them, we're going to be in a good spot, which I think we'll do in their upkeep and hope that there's no other Spell Stutter. And they scryed 1 at the top. Yep. We're going to hope there's no counterspell here. And that works. Very nice. Fairy Miscreant, which we prevent the card draw, which is probably their top. So that's pretty nice. Ooh, and then we get to Bauble the Miscreant, Mirror Enforcer for 1. And now we get to attack for 2. All right. Now we're in a good spot. All right. Got game 1 against Sultai Fairies. I feel like I did see or like hear about some Sultai Fairies list on MTGO, but certainly not one that I actually am familiar with. Duress. Is Duress good? We didn't see any actual counterspells. We only saw creatures. So Duress feels not great right now. Spellbomb actually was decent against Masked Vandal. Keeping our land alive there was crucial. If we lost that land, I think we would have lost the game. I like Arms of Hadar and Crypt Rats. Rebuke seems decent. Blood Fountain, maybe not as necessary. Thraben Charm also is Graveyard Hate. I don't know if we really need Graveyard Hate. As like I don't mind the Spellbomb because it sits on the field. It can be picked up if we need. It adds to our affinity count. I don't think we need Thraben Charms. Cast Down's good. Everything else is really good, though. Take out a Prism? Do I start getting greedy? Sure. We can get greedy. I don't know if we can. Good news. Well, good and bad news. They're fairies, which generally doesn't have much good sideboard stuff against affinity. I mean, annuls, maybe Steel Sabotage, but not like Dust to Dust, right? But they are green, which means they could have better options, and obviously Vandal's just main deck. This hand's not keepable. This hand is not keepable. This hand is fine. We're going to keep this one. Ooh, I don't think I can afford to keep all our spells, though, because then I'm at 2 lands, and if they Vandal us, we're kind of screwed. So I think we keep both of these, and that's 2 blue, so we get rid of Seat, and I do, what, turn 1... I could turn to a Tithing Blade. It's Tithing or Refurb. I think Tithing is better? No, worse? I think we could get rid of Tithing. I don't know. It's a tough call. Prophetic Prism could be good. They start with an Aquifer. That means they're not going to be able to Mask Vandalist on turn 2, barring any, like, Lotus Petal or something. Okay, hold up Counterspell or Spell Stutter. Do I just go for the Relic? Probably, right? They can't Spell Stutter it, so it has to be a Counterspell. Okay, that's fine. So Ninja could be coming. Aquifer, so no green at the moment. No thing there. Spell Stutter. Well, I think we start with a Familiar because that doesn't get Spell Stuttered, and probably just pass if this just if it resolves. It doesn't. Okay, so then we can play Skyfisher with a Relic. Bounce. Tithing Blade's not bad. Snuff Out gets rid of the Skyfisher since we know they're playing that. Maybe just a Cast Down too. Okay. I am very intrigued by this deck. Lorien Reveal, I guess that can get their green. Tangled Islet. Alright, we're going to Tithing Blade. Untapped land would be nice. Ooh, that's not bad either. Okay, we can Tithing, Thoughtcast, and do this first in case we get a white that we wanted to play, but we don't. Crypt Rats could be decent. Refurb, pretty good here. There's a Miscreant. Nothing else. Spell Bomb. Relic gets countered. Crypt Rats probably doesn't get countered. I guess let's play a Refurb first. See if they want to counter spell, and that opens us up from Spell Stutter. And then I think we Spell Bomb, and if they Spell Stutter that, we just let them go. Okay, counter spell. So that means I don't think I want to put Crypt Rats down yet. I think we just Relic. No Spell Pierce. Oh, well, we didn't play Prism. We didn't tap properly to Refurb, so that's a little unfortunate. But that's okay. We're, I think, still in a pretty good spot. They've only got 3 cards, but there is a Ninja coming. Is that a big one? Big Ninja, the Deep Hours. Miscreant back in hand. Play that, and again, Spell Stutter is up. Always got to be wary of that. Skyfisher's good, unless there's a Spell Stutter. Let's just Refurb. If they counterspell that, coast is clear. That's good. Takes one of their only 2 cards. Generous End. I could just pop Relic, this Relic, on the Ninja. I don't know if they're playing Brine Barrows here. And then Spell Bomb. I think I'm happy to do that. Let's just Relic this guy. Hopefully we hit our land drop. If not, we still just keep this tapped. We don't have to fear it dealing damage. And actually, I guess we'll Spell Bomb them now. If they get a Vandal, so be it. But land drop right now would be really nice. All right. I get it. I ask for a land drop, I get a Relic. I'll stop doing so, because that's more Relics than we need. They just pass. All right. Now we get to play a Relic. That's fine. We get to Skyfisher. I guess we just keep this guy tapped again. Why not? Glint Hawk. Well, I keep missing on our chances of hitting a 1-drop. I mean, we have Thoughtcast, Familiar, and Glint Hawk, so we have 1-drops of all colors. So, which is why it's important for us to have like a Prophetic Prism or something on the field. And I should have probably prioritized getting it down a little sooner. And I probably should try to get that down this turn for this very reason. They do get a Brainstorm into a Miscreant, not bad. Swing, I think I'll take 1. If there's a Ninja, not amazing, but Suffocating Fumes is pretty nice. I'm still expecting a Spell Stutter though, so they would have that. I guess I can Skyfisher first, and if there is a Spell Stutter, I have the Fumes, and they would need a Spell Pierce. All right, I will pick up the Familiar, play that, and now I can just Glint Hawk it back, play it again for the utmost annoyance. Unless they Spell Stutter here, which, yeah, did play around nicely. I did not. I played right into it at that point, but I was playing around it before. They played around not playing into me wrathing their board right there, which was my point. All right. I could Suffocating, and if that doesn't work, I could Crypt Rats, or vice versa. Maybe I just Crypt Rats. This means no white. I don't need white at the moment, though. Yeah, let's play a Crypt Rats. Weird sideboard card. All right. They gave me the GGs. Crypt Rat's gonna take it down, looks like. Able to get there over Sultai Fairies. So we're 4-2 in leagues today, with my locals earlier 7-2 on the day. So feeling pretty good right now with the deck. And now we're against, which is Alexander Weber, member of the PFP and a content creator as well. See, this hand would look so much better with blue source. Can we keep it? It's a little greedy. I think we're gonna mulligan. It's really close. And by close, I mean should have kept it, because this one's not close at all. All right, this one we got good mana. Get rid of Spell Bomb. get rid of tithing. What are the chances? Alexander Weber has been on Black Sack a lot recently. They made top 8 with it this week, but it looks like we are on Tron. Okay, well, that first hand probably would have been fine against Tron, so now I'm feeling rough about it. No turn 3, but there is a Prism. Looks like Flicker. Tron. Refurb's not bad. I mean, we can maybe rival them for cards at some point, but their mana is going to be a lot more than ours is. Next turn we get to Refurb Thoughtcast. There's Tron coming up. 4, 5, 6. I could just get down a Mirror Enforcer for more damage quicker, but I'm paying mana for it, and I get a Blood Fountain down instead of a Refurb. I don't really love either of those, so I think we just Familiar. Could Glint Hawk back the Cryogen rather than the Thoughtcast. That's actually probably better. A little more aggressive. Discard a Bajuka Bog. Relic back in hand. Thoughtcast. Alright, we got a lot of card draw. They got a lot of mana. Ours is mine. That's an interesting choice. 8 mana, 2 blue. Well, now a bunch as much colors as you want it to be. Okay, we could use... Ooh, well, I like that he's spending time doing that. Double Energy Refractor feels like not a lot else going on. Could be like a Mnemonic Wall with nothing in the graveyard, so that's kind of a waste or something, but not the worst thing to see. We have 4 artifacts on the field, so depending on what we draw, we could just put these 3 down, which gives us a 2-turn clock, obviously barring interaction, but that seems reasonable. Could be a counterspell here, though. Unwind or Prohibit are the main ones they play, right? Maybe just a Negate sometimes, just straight up. It could also have Breath Weapon. Bridge makes it so even if they Breath Weapon the familiar way, I can still get the Enforcer down. So I was going to say if they have Breath Weapon, maybe I want to do this pre-combat to get the Enforcer on the field in case they kill in combat. But now I think it's fine. Attack for 4. That works. Cryogen. Oop, we mistapped. Well, that's going to hurt. Yeah, to rub it in. Okay. I guess I can remedy this if I draw a Vault of Whispers or a Swamp. And I did not. Which means that I have 2 Mirror Enforcers that are not getting down this turn, because they're 1 mana. Yikes. Couldn't be me. I've never made a mistake in my life. Crop Rotation. Yep. So that's another tower. So that's 10 mana. This Mystical Teachings. Yikes. That is not good. Ghostly Flicker. Okay. Well, I was liking my position a little bit more if I had this Enforcer on the field. Now I'm not a big fan. There's a wall. Gets back to Teachings. Yeah, Flicker, so I need to cast down pretty badly. Or Tithing Blade would do it. I think we just start with a Thoughtcast. Suffocating Fumes does not do it. Double Glint Hawk. I mean, it draws us some stuff. I mean, it lets me double Refurb here. Let's see, we know they have Mystical and Ghostly Flicker. If I do Refurb and Glint Hawk, they just find a Breath Weapon and wipe everything away. That's not great. I guess just Glint Hawk. Pick up the Relic. Cast down. Although now I don't have Cast down unless I don't have Enforcers unless I play Blood Fountain, and then I don't have Cast down. Everything's going according to plan. Well, I guess we just play Blood Fountain and Enforcers and another Blood Fountain. Yeah, not doing the Enforcers last turn, screwing me up a bit. Now I don't have Cast down up, which means Flicker. I mean, I guess they can't Infinite Flicker. This is 7 mana, so like 2 Flickers withdrawing cards. There's a Teachings for an Ephemerate. Yep, that's pretty good. Okay. Yikes. Feels like we're dying. Gets back Ephemerate. Cryogen Relic, yep. Good with the Flicker. Now that means every 4 mana is draw 2 with the Cryogen and the wall being flickered. 4 mana. They have 11 at the moment. Kind of what Pylons keeps on top. Yep, there's the Ghostly Flicker, looks like. No, maybe not. Just pass. Okay. I would have loved another piece of interaction. Thraben Charm or Cast Down. I guess we don't have Thraben Charms in our main deck here. Cast Down's decent, but he has Ghostly Flicker and Ephemerate. We do have Lethal on board. No, we don't, because they blocks the Enforcer. I was thinking he could only block a Glint Hawk, and that's obviously not true, and we're not just going to cast it down, so that's not going to work. 10 damage is what we have then. Well, it's not going to be lethal, so I guess we'll just swing anyway. Force them to do something here. Mystical Teachings in response. This could be a Breath Weapon. Moment's Peace, even better. That means they're tapped out of Ghostly Flicker, but not Ephemerate, so I still can't kill this. Okay. Moment's Peace, Ghostly Flicker. Well, I guess Refurbished Familiar makes him discard a card. I guess we just hold up. I mean, we have to hold up cast down, I think. If they go for it on the end step with Ephemerate, we can cast it down. If they just have a Pulse Marasa, which they can find with the teachings, then it doesn't really matter. I also just probably don't go for it on the end step here. Is that a Weather the Storm? Heritage Reclamation. Well, that's just rude. I guess I cast down the wall while they're tapped out. At least they have to Mystical Teachings for 7, Pulse for 4. Like, they couldn't redo it this turn, I don't think. Unless they just have another wall or something in hand. Ghostly Flicker, draw 3. Pretty nice. Map. Finds another tower, another relic. I mean, they're just kind of like drawing a lot of cards and stuff, but it doesn't really matter because they just have another fog here, so I can't deal them lethal. So they can kind of do whatever as long as they have that 4 colorless up. I guess if they get low enough on cards, which is not looking to be the case, I could refurb Glint Hawk them. There's another vault. Let's just make them use the Moment's Peace or see if they have something else. But I assume it's just the Moment's Peace. Yep. Well, I don't really love playing more into like a breath weapon, but can't really do anything else. So I think we're picking up this relic. Spellbomb's not bad. I could get a Teachings right now. I don't know if that's worth it or if I should save that. Play the relic again. A counterspell. Unwind. Prohibit. Okay. Refurb. I mean, they cycle Alorian. So they have Ephemerate, Island. Do I know anything else? Ghostly Flicker's been gone. Moment's Peace is gone. I think we just spellbomb them right now. I guess we still don't have lethal next turn because of the 2 relics on our enforcers. But I think taking away the Mystical Teachings and also like the whole stack so that Pulse Marasa can't get back a wall. And I think that seems good right now. If they just have to draw and can't find like another fog, maybe that's good for us. I mean, that would be good for us, but well. Mole Drifter Ephemerate's a pretty good combo here. That's gonna draw a couple. I guess our Grim Bauble stops the rebound, but draw 4 is pretty brutal here. Stonehorn is not great. That's basically another fog, and currently we don't have a removal spell for it. There's a Mysidian Elder, okay. And a Refractor. Alright. Well, we have to kill this Stonehorn pretty badly, and I guess we're just churning through this. Skyfisher takes cards from their hand. That's it. I guess I could kill the Stonehorn with double Bauble. If they find a Pulse, they just get it right back, but it's either that or Ephemerate goes off. So I guess we try to kill it. No combat for us with our 8 creatures. Pass. Hello, do you want to come up here? Ephemerate draws 2 off the Mole Drifter, and now we're taking damage from the Wizard token, which is fine right now, but if they flicker that, they're going to start getting multiple pings per cast trigger, which is pretty strong. There's a wall, gets back the Ephemerate. Yep. Cycle Alorian. And a Ghostly Flicker. Going for draw 4. I guess the wall Ephemerates, and you can get the Ghostly Flicker anyway, so I guess that makes sense. Ephemerate in hand. Flicker again. Brutal. I mean, maybe they deck. Breath Weapon. Yep, I definitely knew that was coming at some point. And then Weather the Storm. Okay. Yeah, pretty brutal. I mean, we have the Blood Fountain to buy back a couple guys. We get to attack this turn, but they're at 30. Vault lets us play 2 familiars, take away 2 of their cards for all the good it does. Okay. We basically have nothing else to do, so we're going to attack for 10, and yeah, I mean, I could hold up Suffocating Fumes. That doesn't do it. Get back to Refurb. Discard a couple cards. Unwind. And a Prism. Ephemerate for a Ghostly Flicker. Flicker Elder. The wall gets it back. So that's 4 mana, makes another guy, and pings us for a bunch. It's going to deal us a lot of damage. I don't think it's lethal this turn, and then we can Fumes wipe their board of the Wizards, which might keep us alive through next turn. Probably not. But it's 4 mana to make 1 Wizard. So that's 1, 2, 3 more, which is going to be 2, 3, 4 damage, which is going to be 9. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't kill us. And then we wipe their board. If we find like a cast down or something, we can kill the wall or the Elder. Oh, hello. Ghostly Flicker. Yeah, so we're at 5. I set a land drop in there because I thought they were going to be tapped out. I guess they just cast anything and we die. Okay. Yeah, I thought they were going to be tapped out. Maybe they hit a land drop I missed. They did. Yep. Okay. Unfortunate. I mean, that game did take a very long time. We get these. Dust to Dust seems decent. Duress is good. Yeah, Thraben Charms for Graveyard. Crypt Rats does not seem good. I don't think Spellbomb's good. Grimbauble is a little too little too late. Same with the Fumes. Rebuke can be good early, but then is pretty quickly waste, I think. Blood Fountains kind of just sit there. Maybe they power out the Enforcers quickly. Compass does make some hands keepable, but I think in this match might not be what we need. We just want to go fast, but we also need cards. I don't know. I feel like cards is what we need, but also we want to go faster than them. So Compass maybe is decent. It does smooth, excuse me, it does smooth hands a lot. We have a lot of other card draw. I don't know. I'm going to try this and see if we regret it. All right, on the play. I mean, I like Thraben Charms. This doesn't look great. Dust to Dust, okay. I don't think this looks keepable. It's close because we get a refurb. It's pretty good. These are useful, but not until late game. Dust to Dust, similarly, is more mid game. Ugh, I mean, that could have been, like, if we top deck well, that could be, like, the best hand ever. And, of course, we always push away, like, a medium 7 for a terrible 5, or rather, terrible 6. And then we have to keep a 5. Okay. I mean, I guess we keep all 3 spells, even though the spells are not even amazing here. Get rid of these. Play a Compass turn 1. Lets me play a Glint Hawk turn 2. Yeah. Actually, I just play a Bridge turn 1 because it's the same outcome. But if we hit like a refurb, I could play that instead on turn 2. Hers is mine, and I'm out. Another cast down. Not quite what we need. Well, I guess we have 1 Glint Hawk going up against them. Now I would have just preferred to take the gamble on the 7 because this hand does not look very good. Again, cast downs, good in the match, not until late. We don't need them early here. And they're just going to have the Tron. I get the refurb 1 turn off, so that's annoying. I mean, that first game did take up about 15 minutes of their clock, so could go to time. Not that that's how I would want to win. Refurb gets rid of a mine. Here's Tron. Here's Tron. Oh, they searched up an island and now play a Conduit Pylons. Okay, well that helps. That means they don't have any energy refractors or anything, is I assume, because otherwise why would they be looking for all this colored mana? Heritage Reclamation, that's annoying. That's honestly not a bad draw now. Maybe we can just get there on the aggro plan based on what we're seeing. They could have a Breath Weapon. Ancient Den. Well, we're attacking for 4 and we got cast down up. That's about all we got here. Could be Mystical Teachings too. Yup. Probably for a Breath Weapon, because that's the only way they're dying right now. I guess Moment's Peace gives them 2 turns, but Breath Weapon gives them infinite turns against these guys, so I think that's probably the better one. It is. Imagine if we had some Thought Casts here. A good spot. They get the Tron. Yep. Wipe away the creatures. Another map. Okay. Cryogen Relic into Glint Hawk. Thought Cast is a pretty good alternative. That's not terrible. We can play the Relic because of this. Relic. Okay. A little slower than I'm wanting, but might be okay. Another tower. Just pass to us. Goldmire Bridge. Do I just pass with 2 cast downs? Is that necessary? I think that's not doing me as much good as I would like. So I think we Relic and then hold up 1 cast down. Looks like we're just getting Pyroblasted though. Yeah. Okay. Well, I have a cast down and maybe I sack this Relic if I really need. And there's a Mole Drifter. I mean, if they try to flicker it, I'll certainly cast it down. I'm not going to try to do that first because then the flicker would screw me up. Another tower. Ancient Den. I suppose we are on Crack Relic to draw a card. Mirror Enforcer is not bad. It lets me hold up double cast down and it's a threat. It doesn't die to another Breath Weapon, although I don't know if they play 2. But it does die to Heritage Reclamation, which they could get back. I guess they don't need to play 2 either. They could get it back with a, you know, the card. Mnemonic Wall. Teachings again for Pulsa Marasa. There it is. So even if they have a wall and I cast it down, it gets pulsed, which means I have to find removal. Graveyard removal for that loop to stop. Ephemerate the Mole Drifter. I mean, they have a Pulse Marasa to get it back anyway, but I'll still try to stop the Ephemerate, I suppose. Ghostly Flicker it. I will try to cast it down. And that's what we got. I mean, at least the Ephemerate isn't going off. They could still Pulse that back the Mole Drifter, but it's not drawing 4 with this. There's the Pulse. Can't play it unless they have like a Refractor here or a map. If they haven't played a land, they can get a island. Another island, play it. Yep, that's what we're seeing. And okay, card draw. Nope, we cracked our Relic. So Glint Hawk. I don't think it does us any good to play a Glint Hawk. So I think we're just holding it. I don't think the 2 damage is going to be relevant. I think I would just much prefer to keep it for a Relic or something. Mnemonic Wall for a Ghostly Flicker. Attack for 2. Ghostly Flicker them both. Ghostly Flicker again. Yep. Yeah, I guess card draw into like Thraben Charm would be my best bet here. So I can blow up the graveyard. Stonehorn. Yeah, also triple kill spells. I mean, there's the Thraben. Glint Hawk doesn't do me any good. If they have a Ghostly Flicker, I mean, I think if they have another Ghostly Flicker, it pretty much doesn't matter, but I think I just hold up Thraben for the graveyard. Prophetic Prism. There's an Elder, so you can just do the loop with the Elder. Yep. Well, if we can interrupt the graveyard, we'll still be fine, but not necessarily counting on that. There's a Lorien. If they find another Flicker or counter spell, it's not going to work. They go for it. Try to exile the graveyard. Unwind. Gives them even more mana. Can they kill me this turn? Flicker. No, they're almost out of blue. Well, Refractor changes that. Flicker. I mean, we didn't bring in... we took out Suffocating Fumes and Arms and Crypt Rats. So I think we're just going to die to these guys. But we'll see what our draw step is. Does it weather the storm for a bajillion? No, another Heritage Reclamation. They get that back. Oh, yeah, I just missed it. Pull up that guy, swing for 3, and we get a Cryogen Relic. I mean, that draws us some cards, unless they just have a Prohibit here. Pyroblast. Well, they're definitely going to kill us on their next turn, so unfortunately, they got us. Alright, into another match here. We're going to keep this one. Sometimes these just feel not great, depending on stuff. This one feels not amazing, for sure. We could play a turn 4 Enforcer, but we have a lot of artifacts to pick up, and they're on island. We have a Spell Bomb. Well, I'm going to play a Spell Bomb, see if it gets Spell Pierced or anything. It does. I'm going to assume that means Terror, because Terror not only plays Spell Pierces more than most other decks, but also cares about a Spell Bomb more than any other deck. Like, Fairies isn't going to care about that. I don't think I'm going to just throw out Glint Hawks willy-nilly, yet, at least. Yeah. There it is. Terror, indeed. Yeah, I kind of wanted the Spell Bomb so I could just pick it back up with a Glint Hawk. I don't want to set myself back a land, but I would just pick up the Spell Bomb. But also, clearly, it would have been relevant. So, Ponder here. Counterspell mana up. We get a Skyfisher. Do I play a 3-mana Mirror Enforcer? Probably not while they have Counterspell mana up. I think we'll pass. Brainstorm. And the Thought Scour. Okay. 2 islands gone. 5, 6. So that's 1 mana Terrors. Still brainstorming, though. I mean, if we get one Cryogen Relic that resolves, we're in a good spot. There's a Delver. There's another Enforcer. So first one's 3. Second one is 2, if it resolves. All right, I guess we try to play 2 of these then. And if they counter, I just play... It's just more expensive, but it doesn't... The toughness actually doesn't really matter in this matchup. I think we just play a Skyfisher then. So I can trade with this if I want. They reveal a Demon Inferior. Well, that could definitely eat a Skyfisher. It looks like it might. I will block. No, they just pass. Okay. If we get another Skyfisher, amazing. I will play an Enforcer. I mean, clearly they have no Serpents, which is pretty good for us. There's a counterspell. Do I play another Skyfisher? I don't think so. I don't know. I'm hoping that they use up their counterspells and then we finally draw a Relic or something and we can get that through. I cycle a Lorien, so that means Island, Demon Inferior, and then now going to be 2 unknowns. They swing this time. I will still trade. Okay. Another Delver. All right. Demon Inferior and 1 unknown. Cast down. I guess if cast down resolves, then I don't have to play one of these. They have a Dispel. All right. Well, I guess I'll play one of these, which they could deem inferior, but that's fine. Oh, gosh. I guess now is the time I need to decide. Do I just want to put down 2 Glint Hawks because I can go on the offensive? I probably should, right? They can deem 1, but if they attack, I'm actually beating them. Not once they get any terror down, though. Moment I draw an artifact, it's so bad. I think we're going to wait. If they didn't have the Demon Inferior, I think I'd go for it, because then I have, like, 6 to their 3. But the Deem throws it off, and if they deem this guy, I really don't want to put it on top, because if we don't have an artifact on very top, then that's just going to be kind of a waste again. They get a Ponder, which is not bad. They don't shuffle. That means there's got to be a terror. Yep. Deem Inferior is their last card. So, oh, come on. I mean, I could play 2 of these and they have to deem pre-combat. Otherwise, I can just block the terror. I still think we're just passing. I'll be kind of forced to play him, like, next turn, though. Mental Note. Mill's the Sleep of the Dead. Lucky them. Oh, they don't even use it. They don't use Deem either. I mean, that's fair, but if they had used Sleep, they could have gone in for 8. Now you're using it? That's kind of weird timing to me, but okay. I would love Cryogen Relic or Thought Casts and then ending with a Thraben Charm. Oh, God. Maybe I'm asking for too much. I could play Glint Hawk. I mean, I guess I have to play Glint Hawks at this point because then they kind of can't tap them all down. They kind of can, though, because they could just tap the 2 of them with Sleep next turn. This one finally untaps. They tap that. It doesn't matter. Yeah, Sleep just makes it irrelevant. So I think I just hold them in case we get any artifact, what our deck is built around. Okay, they get a deep analysis and tap 6 for it, but then there's a terror. Attack for 8. Oh, well, there's a relic, but I feel like it's just gonna be a couple turns too late, but maybe just one turn too late. If we got this last turn, I can take cards from their hand. I can have 3 blockers, 4 blockers. I can only tap 2. I guess that means I'm not technically dead. We're gonna Glint Hawk for the relic because I still feel like I need to draw something here. I guess cast down, Tithing Blade, Thoughtcast, I think. 1 mana to draw 2 seems better than 2 to draw 1. Compass. Okay, I can take their 2 cards. They sleep 2 of these. I chump and I trade, I guess. Mental note. Yeah, look how much I'm able to do now that I have cards. If I just had that relic 1 turn earlier, I think we would be in a fine spot. But now they tap 2. Yeah, we trade and we chump. We go to 2, and then next turn they can tap. I mean, we have no creatures left at that point. I guess we can relic to tap one of these. This is dead, so I just need to find a 2-mana removal spell for this other one. A Tithing Blade would do it before we crack the relic. No, they found a Serpent too. Okay. They don't even attack with the Aberration? Okay, yeah, they do. Yeah, because otherwise I could triple block, although that would mean... Okay, yeah, so they didn't even tap 3. I could triple block, but then I die. I guess I block here. Yeah, because now I have 4 guys staring me down. Alright, Prophetic Prism. Not going to do it, I don't think. Tithing Blade is good, but I just think it's not going to work. Because I kill one guy, I have to... The Compass doesn't matter. Yeah, if they just didn't have this, because I can tap one of these for 4 and Tithing one of them, and then they sleep this and I die. Guess I have to draw something with Prophetic. No, if I draw another Tithing Blade, that doesn't matter. Raven Charm is too late. Yep, real unfortunate. Glint Hawk, not let me... If I had 1 more mana, I could Glint Hawk Tithing. No, they still just tap 2 of them. Man, Sleep of the Dead sometimes is busted. The card is so good. Alright, we are dead. We do get... I don't even know. What do we get? Duresses, Thraben Charms, Crypt Rats, I guess. If we resolved it there and had the mana, like, that would have been decent. Cast Down's good. Suffocating's bad. Rebuke's not very good. Blood Fountain's decent. Grimbobble's not. I mean, Blood Fountain's only really great if we're chumping. I guess they counter our things. It's decent there, too. Feels like we can maybe cut one. Cut a Compass. Alright, well, let's go again. I mean, this does not look amazing, but we've got a Thoughtcast. I could draw us out of anything. Plus, Cast Down seems decent. Cryogen would be our best draw, followed by like a white source. Excuse me. What is it with this deck giving us a million lands? I know we draw a lot, but I feel like in the hands where we aren't drawing that much, we're drawing way too much. Okay, I don't think I'm going to cast a Thoughtcast for 2 that they can just counter. I think I'd rather cast 2 Thoughtcasts for 1 next turn. So, they Mental Note, hit a Lorien, and gonna pass. I mean, 3 Thoughtcasts seems good too. Alright, we'll kick them off. Draw again. I did have to play the land first, so now I don't get bridge. That's kind of annoying. Here's a Refurb. See if they want to annul that. They do. I guess if I Thoughtcast again, that gives Spell Pierce some power, plus we discard, so I guess I might not. Shouldn't do that. I mean, double Cast Down's nice. They Thought Scour us? What? We didn't... I don't understand. I mean, I guess they're already at 6 spells here, but they don't want to hit a Sleep of the Dead or something? There's a Serpent. Glint Hawk. Well, we want to get this down, so do I just double cast this down, assuming the first one gets countered? Yeah, I could do it in their upkeep, but then they could actually counter both of them, which I don't want. So I think we will just do it now. If they Dispel this, it's kind of bad. Okay, that's fine. Because then I couldn't really do it again without worrying about another Dispel. Alright. Another Terror, just that. Refurb. Okay, let's Thoughtcast. Cryogen. Now we're talking. If I Cryogen, I feel like it's going to get countered. I'm going to Refurb and see what they do there. If this gets counterspelled, okay, that's fine. Sleep of the Dead, there it is. I feel like Cryogen's still going to get countered then, so I almost feel like I want to just Skyfisher and replay the Familiar. Okay, if they counter this, I think we just go for the Cryogen. If they have an Annul or Spell Pierce, they get us. Looks like they do. Spell Pierce, that's annoying. Yeah, maybe for the Spell Pierce, like, Annul's gonna get us regardless, but maybe for Spell Pierce I should have just waited. That might have been a mistake. Sleep of the Dead. If we could just find a Nile Spellbomb, blow up their graveyard into a Tithing Blade, that would be amazing. Sleep of the Dead on this, it looks like. I mean, if they're using it this early, I don't hate that. I mean, I can just pick it up, but with no second white source, I can't even... Can't even take both their cards. That's annoying. Discard a Deep Analysis too. And that means I can't have a a block on the Terror, flashback the Deep Analysis, and they're sleeping again. On the Refurb, I mean, that's the one I can untap, so I don't know why they keep doing that one. Mere Enforcer's something. Pick this one up, play this, discard, have an Enforcer. If they discard a land, so if they have another land, they could sleep this and one of these, and I have to start chump blocking. They do have another land if they want to go that route. Looks like they're not. Okay. Glint Hawk. Huh. Probably just gets countered. Then I can Glint Hawk again next turn. I can't do them both in the same turn though, which means kind of makes me want to just do it because I'm not going to be able to play them both next turn unless I draw the right card anyway. All right, they counterspell. I don't think I attack. I mean, 6 in the air, but their sleep can just throw off the count. Yeah, I think I have to leave back until that sleep's dealt with. It's just too good. All right, we already triple Thoughtcast, but let's, we have 3 more relics into other stuff. Another Terror. I mean, if they don't have a counterspell, like a Tithing Blade into a Glint Hawk would be good too. They're going for the sleep. Tap down the Familiar again. I dare you. Okay, they go for the Enforcer this time. They attack. I mean, I think I have to. I only lose 2 of these, but I think I have to. If they have Boomerang or something, or like Steel Sabotage, I'm wrecked. But I think we have to. It's either that or we chump. I'm not taking 5 this turn when they could potentially sleep our blockers. Yeah, leave us with a Glint Hawk. Thraben Charm. Thank God. I cannot play a Glint Hawk because of this freaking. I have 7 lands in play and I only have 1 white mana. It's because they milled our Navigator's Compass. That's why they milled us. They knew we needed that. Oh my gosh. Because otherwise I could maybe just play this and blow up their Terror. But now I just have to exile their graveyard, which is fine. But then I have to chump here. Next turn I can Glint Hawk, pick up the Enforcer, play it again. That's fine. Maybe I just don't chump next turn. I have to get rid of the sleep though, right? They have Counterspell mana up, so I guess I do it in their upkeep. Ugh. Exile your graveyard, please. And hope for no Dispel or Counterspell. There we go. Alright, now Terrors are expensive. I think we take... If they get rid of this anyway, I think I take it. I don't know. If they get rid of this, then already these don't double block, so maybe it's bad. Oh my gosh. Well, I can get in for 4. And then, I mean, this is a bit of a risk, but we are kind of in a position where we need to make something happen. If they have a counterspell for the Glint Hawk, then I just have to chump here. If they don't, I can pick up the Mere Enforcer, replay it, and we have our blockers still. Yep. And did we take all our Blood Fountains out? Why do I always forget how to do that? We took 1 of them out. So do I just... I guess if we get Blood Fountain, I actually have guys to buy back. So I'm going to play the bridge. I'm not going to hold it for a Blood token. If we get Blood Fountain, we can buy things back. And if we get a Cryogen or Thoughtcast, we want to have things to draw into. Mental Note. You got to be kidding me. Instantly, they hit a Sleep of the Dead. I realize they don't quite have enough cards to use it, but they just have to cast 1 spell, and they can't. So if they have like a Team Inferior or something, oh, they just have a almost full cost Serpent. Thoughtcast into Tithing Blade into Glint Hawk. Prophetic Prism is not bad. Cryogen Relic is not bad, but I need something more than just draw spells. Okay, that's also not bad, although it lets them sleep once. I don't think I can afford to attack. They sleep. I have to have blockers for both of these. Yeah, if I attack here and they just have like a Mental Note and a land drop, maybe I could get away with 1 Glint Hawk, but that feels risky. And the 2 damage, like, it's not enough to make it so like my race is like better or anything. They have another Terror. Well, they are gonna attack. I can't kill them both. I have to chump one of them anyway then. But I can tap down this with the Relic. So I think we just block here, chump here, and then I keep this tapped. Obviously, I would like the Relic on the field for another Glint Hawk, but we just need to draw a card, I think, because we have no guarantee we'll draw what we need. Plus, we have some other ones to bounce, to flicker, or yeah, bounce to hand if we need. Tithing's not bad. Kind of awkward the fact that we just tapped this down, but... If we get like another Tithing or something, okay, Spellbomb's good. We'll cast that. Hopefully no counterspell. We're going to use it because we don't want them to sleep at all or get any more Terrors potentially. Mere Enforcer's good. Okay, we'll play that. And while it looks like they don't have any counterspells, I guess we're going to Tithing Blade even though this is tapped. So cool to see you playing this deck again. One of my faves. Yeah, I'm glad you are excited about it. I was super excited about it when it was first available since the Cryogen was printed. couple weeks ago, beginning of August, but there were so many cards from Edge of Eternities that I wanted to try to brew around that I kind of I wasn't able to focus on like actually developing any of them. I was just brewing all of them. Okay, that's annoying. Demon Inferior means we have to chump. Is Enforcer even good on the top? I guess it trades. I guess we put it on top. It's not great. And we block with the Familiar because the Glint Hawk and the Enforcer don't both die. Yeah, so I wasn't really able to Thought Cast. That's great. We know we're getting an Enforcer. Spellbomb's fine. I don't mind keeping the graveyard clear. 2 mana, that still lets us Tithing Blade. Okay, we're going to Spellbomb, just see if we draw something. If we get like a Tithing Blade or a Glint Hawk or anything like that. Nope. All right. Well, we have an Enforcer, and we have a Swamp, and we're going to flip a Tithing Blade off a Glint Hawk. All right, we are still alive somehow. Yeah, so I wasn't really able to focus on developing any of the brews. I was just kind of spitting out different brews, and I think there was a lot of cool stuff to mess around with. Some of which I think has potential, some of which doesn't. But yeah, this is one that I really think is going to be a real deck. And I've been meaning to get some reps in with it, and I just haven't. So I finally, last night, was able to get in a league. Thought Scour us? Why are they Thought Scouring us? I don't think this is going to come to milling. Demon Inferior, the Mirror Enforcer. Well, now it's not going to block more than a chump on the top, but maybe we get lucky and draw another draw spell. Yeah, keeps us alive for a turn. I don't know. Played a league with it last night, didn't do too poorly, 4-1. Built it in paper and brought it to... They have another terror, so I guess this keeps us alive against 1 terror if I can draw something. Duress. Amazing. Let's see what their last card is. It is an island. Man, I feel like we drew really poorly this game. Unfortunately. Yeah, so was able to take it to my locals today and got a 3-0 with it. Pretty much this exact list I'm running. And then now we're running it now. This is our second league of the stream. So 3/2 Lifelink Ninja that I'm digging with this deck. Yeah, Mukatai Ambusher. That would be pretty sweet. It's an artifact creature, which is nice. Bounces back Refurb, can even bounce back a Glint Hawk or something, which you can then pick up Relic with. Definitely seems cool. I know like sideboard sometimes sees 1 or 2 of them as hate against red, but I could see like a 1 of in the main deck even. I really like Okiba Gang Shinobi in Orzhov Glint Blade because people don't ever see it coming, and mind rotting your opponent is just super strong. And I didn't feel like that one quite fit this deck with the blue, but I could see one of the reasons was it wasn't an artifact, and I could definitely see the Mukatai doing a little bit of work here. So yeah, I like that suggestion. Ooh, I see what we're up against. We're up against Black Sack, my favorite deck. Do I just cast down the Beetle? I'm not very used to playing against this deck, so I never know what to play, how to play. But Beetle's good. I think we probably save it. What's the worst that could happen? I say, knowing full well. But I think we'd probably save it for like a Carrion Feeder or something. Sage. Okay, they could go ham and get 2 3/3s if they want. I don't think that's terrible. I could just Cryogen the Beetle then. Maybe just attacking for 2. Okay. Yeah, I could Cryogen Beetle, or I could Thought Cast. Let's see, 4, 5. I could play an Enforcer. That doesn't feel right for 2 mana. I could just cast down the Feeder. That means the Beetle's going to be a 3/3 for 4. I think, yeah. I think we thought... No, I want more artifacts on this. I think we cast down the Feeder and we Spellbomb. Yep, sacrifice that. Spellbomb. Shambling Ghast. Village writes it for a damage, or a counter. And draw 2. Shambler. Here's my exact list that I'm running right now. And a Link Breaker. Okay, but no sack outlet is good. Is there anything else that you've been running differently than what I'm running? Curious about that. Okay, now I might... Let's see, we can Cryogen this and get down Enforcer and Familiar. That feels pretty good. Familiar, they're at 1 card in hand. Don't have to worry about the Beetle for this turn. Discard a Marauder. Yep, play an Enforcer and then keep the Beetle tapped. We also have a Spellbomb if they have an Unearth, and we get a Thought Cast. Definitely pinched on blue. Could use a Prophetic Prism. There's a Vampire. That is scary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, that's lethal to a Rite of Consumption. Looks like a Village Rites or stamina. We just block these. Because if it's stamina, I don't want to give the Shambler. I mean, they can already sacrifice it, but I'd rather just make them do that. Okay, they just let him go. That's kind of interesting. For 1 damage. Cryogen, I can't keep this tapped if I don't get another blue. I think we just try to get something with Thoughtcast. Refurb and Mirror Enforcer is pretty good. We take the card if it is a Rite of Consumption or something. And then we have the Enforcer. It is. I don't know why they attacked. They could have killed us next turn. And now they have 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I'll have to be chumping this, but I think that's fine. Play a Blood Fountain, and I don't think we're attacking. I think we're passing. Kind of like running Gates instead of the Artifact Dual Lands. Lets you choose a color you might not have, and there are so many artifacts anyhow. Yeah. Instead of the Dual Lands, so you still run like the Artifact single lands or monocolor lands. We chump here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. We have to chump this. I could double block this, and they have to sack a million to it, and then I can just get them back with the Blood Fountain. That feels pretty good. Like if they do sack a bunch, they could have the stamina. Okay, so they have the things to sacrifice, and then Beetle's gonna be big. If I can find blue, I can Cryogen down one of these guys, but it's kind of rough. I don't want to. Very close to what I'm running though. I'm running Lembus instead of Prophetic Prism. Yeah, Lembus. Scry's great. I mean, I was talking about this a little bit earlier, but the prisms I did not put in my first version, and then I found that my mana suffered, and I've even with 2 prism, 2 what's the other one? Compass main deck. I've been running into some mana issues. All right, here we lose both of them. They only have a vampire. The big problem is this beetle I need to kill. Oh, I should have. I'm a goob. Like I said, I'm not super used to playing against Black Sack. I should have spellbombed the Shambler when it was in the grave. They still would have gotten the squirrels, but this would be gone, and they would have these three, and that's not a big deal. Compass so good. I'm loving running a lot of life gain. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely like. It was a card that was running in sideboards a lot for a while. I could Thoughtcast, but I just die if I don't hit. Or I could just Blood Fountain back 2 Enforcers, play those, chump, block, and then next turn I have more mana and I can Relic. Yeah, it's kind of rough that I have to use these just as chump blockers, but I think we can maybe get there. Luckily I have this bridge, which means I can actually play the Enforcers. And in case they have another stamina or something, I will try not to forget about the spellbomb. Compass so good. Yeah, I definitely. Yeah, this is a good combo. And another Shambler. Yeah, Compass was something it was incredible in sideboards that I was playing, and then I mean, it wasn't my idea. Somebody else was doing it, but then I decided main deck it could be pretty good. We have to chump here, and then 1, 2. We super definitely have to chump here as well. And then, yeah, I've had not just the life gain. If you are against a burn opponent, like you can gain 12 life off of it. It's like a Weather the Storm that's like small increments. But then also it's good because you can. What am I trying to say? Oh, well, also it just it makes some hands keepable with 1 land, or not 1 land, 2 lands that don't have all your colors. Compass makes it keepable. Okay, well I can play Relic and I can tap this down, but this vampire is already 11 damage, lethal, which means that's not going to keep me alive. Yeah, life gain is almost OP in this format. Yeah, so much burn. I mean, I think I played against 3 burn opponents the other day in 1 league, and it was not my favorite. I think I just have to Thoughtcast. If I find a cast down, I also have to find a removal. I have to kill both of these. Because Cryogen draws me 2 and kills 1 for a turn. But then I have to find a 1 mana blocker, which I could do. Ugh. Yeah, I think we Relic. It also gives me 2 draws, and it takes out one of these guys for a turn. And if I can just find a Glint Hawk, a Refurb, another Enforcer, of which we have a few. Ancient Den is not any of those. It does let me it does mean I can find a 2-drop too, so a cast down or anything like that. So we Relic the Beetle. I think it doesn't matter. Yeah, Beetle's better. And we find a Vault of Whispers. Okay, well, I'm going to play that, Spellbomb them, and I can still hit a 1-drop. Bauble. Bauble doesn't work, does it? I Bauble the Shambler, and they 1, 2, 3. Oh, Bauble keeps me alive because I kill the Shambler. If I'm lucky, they don't sack it, and they don't get any squirrels. But if they do sack it, which they should, they'll get 1 squirrel because I'll reduce its power. Yeah, they do sack it. Darn. But then they have 1, 2, 3. This is only 7 damage from the vampire, 8 with the mercenary. So if they top deck anything, we're dead. but we were pretty dead anyway, and technically we're not dead here. Like running Gates for Basilisk Gate too, but that might be overdoing it. I mean, I love Gates. I just think Conviction doesn't kill us, but any double body creature does now. They don't have it? Okay. I don't know. I like Gates. I guess you couldn't be... I assume you're not playing Enforcers if you're not playing all the artifact bridges, which I've found Enforcers also were not in my original list, and I've found them to be very strong. Okay, I should not just throw off this Thoughtcast, because I can actually Grim Bauble first, then Thoughtcast. I still have 3 mana to play around with. I have a blocker here, and if I get a cast down, I can kill them. We'll kill their guy. So I think I just Bauble here. Not running Enforcers. Yeah. So are you just on the 8 birds and refurbs? Like Glint Hawk, refurb, Core Skyfisher? Or my original list had more... I had Black Mage's Rod, but I didn't really love that. Okay, well... Bridge is gone. Do I keep a Thoughtcast? It lets me draw another 2, and I can still hit a bunch of stuff. I think we keep it. Thoughtcast, yep. Birds, refurbs, yep. Don't like Rod either. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, I guess for me, just the 12 birds, double Thoughtcast, wasn't quite enough. I still wanted a little bit more. Like usually in an Orzhov Blade, or at least for me, I would play some Thraben Inspectors too. But... okay, Skyfisher keeps us alive. I mean, maybe we're doing it. We get to play this. Oh, I don't even have to bounce a land. I can bounce the Enforcer, and I can replay it. Maybe we're alive here. Shambler. I mean, we're still double chumping, but they have to keep sacking things to this. We have another Cryogen. Again, we don't have a lot of blue, but we can take out the Beetle for a turn. We've seen 1 cast down right at the beginning. We have 2 more cast downs. Okay, we got a bridge. So again... I can Thoughtcast, but then that doesn't let us Cryogen, so I think we're in the same boat. But actually, we might Blood Token first here. So we have so much non-blue mana here that I want to use. There's a blue. That lets us Thoughtcast, right? Cryogen, yeah, we're trying to survive. I mean, those are blockers, but I might need to sack this Relic to the Beetle, which means I couldn't bring it back. Yep. Unfortunate. Unless I just want to play these 2 as 2 chump blockers and I bring this back to hand. Maybe that's better. Bring this back. Yeah, I mean, we're going to chance it. Messing around with Sacred Cat. Not sure I love it, but it's interesting. I mean, if you're doing Gates, I think that might be reasonable. Tithing Blade does not... I mean, it technically keeps us alive against the Vampire, but I think that might be a little too close to the edge. But next turn... okay. We're going to Glint Hawk back a land. Yes, please. And pass. We have Chump, Chump. They're going to have to sack 1 to this. If they only have these 2, I can Tithing one of them away. No, they get another Shambler. Well, this is a funky game. I mean, I get a cast down and I'm in like a fine spot, but this is not happening. We also have a Suffocating Fumes. That doesn't do a ton. All right, Tithing Blade, not great at the moment. Also, I didn't love having to pick up a land there, but Spell Bomb does not really matter. It's a redraw, but keep this tapped. We have 2 cast downs still. Blood Fountain, but it's too much mana now. So now we have to play... oh, let's not tap out of... well, yeah, let's do this. Not tap out of blue. Spell Bomb them. And get a cast down? Refurb keeps us alive. All right. This is crazy that this is still going. All right. Blood Fountain and pass. See if they get anything. I mean, even a Stamina kills us here on a Squirrel now. They might not have anything, but we'll see. Block the Vamp. They sack to keep alive. Okay. We get another Relic. Okay, so I can Tithing Blade, bring back... I can't Tithing Blade again. Gosh. Well, I guess we are Cryogen Relicing. Yet again. Rebuke. Tap this down. Yeah, tap this down, refurb, but I don't want to refurb. I want to buy back 2 Enforcers again, and then I want to play 2 Enforcers, and they can't really attack with the Vampire now. Okay, unless they have, I mean, that still lets us block and double block. They didn't attack. We're turning the corner, maybe. Refurb. I think we just ditch a land. We hit. Okay, well, I guess we're out of stuff now. We're gonna Tithing Blade. Not super effectively. I was hoping to get more out of it. They get a flyer. It's actually kind of annoying, but they could have made that anyway. And I get to flip this off a Skyfisher, I guess. All right. I thought this game was gonna be over forever ago, but I guess we're still alive at the moment. Things are not looking good, though. We block here, we block here, block here. I'm dead to a Stamina either way. So would I prefer to just double block the Vampire? Yeah, because they have 4 mana. Yeah. So I can block here, 1 damage. Yeah, I think we're dead to Stamina if that's what they have. Yep. And I can rebuke it, but they have 3 mana. No, so close. All right. They took us down. We drew okay. I feel like we could have drawn a lot better. We never killed that beetle, but we did tap it a million times. Arms of Vidar is not amazing against Black Sack, but it is okay. Same with Crypt Rats. Charms are decent. That's pretty much it. Bobble's not bad. Fumes is good. Rebuke is fine. I think it's mostly a counter spell. Tithing Blade is pretty dang bad. Tough game, so close. I appreciate it. It was pretty close. We did survive forever. If we had 3 cast downs. If we just found a second cast down, because we'd already used 1, kill the beetle. The vampire's like a 3/3 for most of the game. Can't attack past, and I think we could have gotten there. Blood Fountain, Spell Bomb is not amazing against them. Decent against stamina, never amazing. And we're bringing in Thraben Charm as more removal, so I guess we just ditch the Spell Bombs. Yeah, this is not bad. Turn 2, Prism's gonna help a lot. Obviously with no white mana here. There's a beetle again. I guess I could have just Blood Fountain Thoughtcast. I don't know. I think I like the Prism here so that we have white mana. Shambling Ghast. Oof. And Village Rites it right away. I don't want to be vanquished by my favorite deck in the format. It'd be brutal. And Shambler. Okay. Enforcer's good. So that's 4, 5, 6 with this. So I can drop 2 Enforcers here. All right. And we have a mana for a Thoughtcast. Bobble. Ooh, that's tempting. Bobbling the beetle means we don't get 2 Enforcers down right now. I think it's worth it, though. Killing beetle is very important, as we saw last game. Oh, actually, what am I talking about? Thank God we have this Prophetic Prism, because this means we can actually play a Blood Fountain, and we can still get down 2 Mere Enforcers. And thank God I didn't miss that on a video that I would get a million comments about it. Bloodthorn Vampire. And a Carrion Feeder, okay. Don't mind seeing those both. I could buy back the Bobble, makes him eat the Shambler. Not amazing. I think we're Thought Casting here. Cast down's good. I think then, do I want to attack? I don't think that makes sense. They're gonna run out of cards, and then I'll be good. I think we just Glint Hawk back. Oh, I should have maybe attacked with the Mirror Enforcer and then Glint Hawked it back, because I don't really care to do anything else here. I guess Bobble's not bad, but I kind of just want to leave up Cast down here, so that if they like go all in on a guy, I mean, it's kind of televised since I didn't replay the Bobble, but whatever. There's a Stamina. That makes this 13. I can maybe Rights it. I guess I just cast it down. Maybe I just cast down the Vampire, actually. I don't know, in response. But then they still have like a 7/7 feeder. Yeah, I think this is fine. They're left behind. They do Conviction, but they're left behind with 1 piece of fodder. They have another, of course, but 8. They can't attack with a Vampire because I could just triple block. It dies. I don't care if I lose everything. You took everything. Thoughtcast is good. I think I maybe Bobble down the feeder to make them sack 2 of these to keep it around, and then the Vampire's not very good. Ooh, actually I could just take 2 cards in their hand with Refurb Glint Hawk. That feels better, I think. Another Vampire, Glint Hawk. Like, once they're out of cards, I'm not too worried about at least their current board. Shambler. Yeah, I can probably chip in for 2. What's the worst that could happen? Totally getting obliterated? Potentially. Okay, they Conviction away the Sage. Hit a Beetle. Village Rites. Okay. Well, now I can bobble the feeder, and it grows the beetle, but that's not a big deal. Ooh, Forcer. I could just attack with a bunch. If I need blockers, I can like buy these back. That bobble is so good. Need to put it back in my list. I'm running it as a 1-of, and it just, yeah, it does a lot of work. It's tough because it's only -2/-2, so like you don't necessarily want a bunch of them. I like it a lot, though. The Surveil is also very relevant. I think we just kind of attack. I think I can pressure them pretty quickly here. If they want to sack anything here, that's fine. But yeah, if they just want to take a billion, I'm also cool with that. Let's Bobble down the... If I do the Beetle, it kills the insect. If I do the Vampire, it kills the insect. I think we just do the Feeder. Totally makes sense as a 1-of. Yeah, I agree. It is a 1-of. I have Tithing Blade as a 2-of, because it's also really good, but also not always amazing. Yeah, so I could kill the insect here, and then they don't have a lot of fodder if I want to pick up the Bobble again with this Skyfisher. Or I could just refurb them. They have 3 cards, so I don't love that. I guess, yeah, I don't know. I think I kind of like Bobble here. Just pick off all their little guys, and then Vampire's not looking too good, depending on their hand. Plus we have another Enforcer, and they're at 4. So like they kill us here, they probably lose, because they'd have to block every Enforcer and 3 of these flyers. All right, yeah, we got the game. Yeah, Bobble was really good there. All right, let's try to win one more. Yeah, Bobble, when it came out, I was like, oh, Glint Blade is going to be insane. And then, you know, it was a little boost to Glint Blade. Nothing crazy, but I do think it's very, very good in the deck. This hand's bad. Well, this hand puts some enforcers on the field pretty quickly. And that's about it. 4-5 with the Glint Hawk. I think I'm going to get greedy and put away the Vault. I think we have to. Like, this hand is not amazing by any means. Beetle, start every time. Okay, if I play Blood Fountain, that's 3 artifacts. Then Den is 4. Pick up the Blood Fountain, play it again, that's 5. 6. Turn 3, I can put 2 enforcers on the field. I guess I could probably do the same thing if I get the bridge down, though. Yeah, we can just do it this way. I feel like my list has a good amount of removal, but definitely against them, I am not feeling super confident. They did the same thing again. Man, if I could get Bauble, kill a Beetle again, oh, I'd be in heaven. Refurb's not bad. I would much prefer to bring that back than this Blood Fountain. So yeah, I guess we just do this. Thank goodness we played that bridge first. We're so smart. Take a card, decent hit here, but then we get to take another card from their hand and double Enforcer. Oh, okay, Marauder. Takes that option away. Grows the Beetle by 2. Pretty nice. And then Feeder. Also pretty nice. Oh, hell yes. So we get to double Familiar here, take their last 2 cards. It does mean I don't get to double Enforcer. I could just play 2 Enforcers, which makes their blocks really tough. What could their last card be that would be better than 2 Enforcers on the field? Village Rites? It could be just about anything. I think it is worth it. Glint Hawk, they have to top deck something for Feeder to be any good, otherwise it can't attack in. Beetle, I can take 1 more hit from Reap in the Graves. I mean, that would have been pretty good. And I would have played right into it probably, because I'm not expecting the Reaping. Infestation Sage does let them attack in. Although I'll double block the Feeder if they attack. They have to sack everything. They do. If I do this, we take 6, 7, 8 if they sack everything to themselves. Yeah, I think we just block like this. I guess they maybe just sack an Insac to trade that. And then we take 7, but I have 2 Enforcers coming, plus a Blood Fountain that'll be online at some point pretty soon. I think I'm okay with that trade. Grimbauble is, you know, not amazing here, but I'll take picking off their only fodder for dropping 2 Enforcers. Definitely going to be pretty good, I think. Bridge is nice. Now I get to crack Bauble and Surveil here. Then I have Blood Fountain for 2 Refurbs next turn. 3 mana for Hardcast Fairy Macabre. Okay. I mean, I am at 6. That's pretty hilarious, especially because I have the Blood Fountain coming pretty soon. Another Enforcer. I actually think I'm going to leave the land because it lets me buy back a Refurb, take their card, and have a blocker for the Macabre this turn. And then we'll leave the Enforcer under that. Hopefully their last card is not another Fairy Macabre, but I have to take that chance. And okay. I was like, if we get wrecked here, that'd be pretty good. But no, we take their card, which is they really don't want to let it go, and I don't blame them. It's just a swamp. Okay. Well, that's not bad though. We have a blocker. We have an Enforcer on top, which I'm realizing doesn't do a lot for us. I mean, it means if the Beetle grows beyond a 9/9, I still have a blocker for it. We will certainly be trading here. Also, now we get to draw a card with our Familiar, so that's pretty good too. But if we get a cast down for this, game's pretty much over. I think we're just ditching that bridge. Hey, there's the cast down. I think that's gonna put the nail in the coffin, because now we just get to attack with our guys for 1,000,000. Maybe they get a Corrupted Conviction, something good, but I'm not seeing it. All right. Close one. Really fun match. And always love to play against the GOAT. Black Zat. All right, 2-2. Again, last time I was 2-2, and then I won the match. So we were 3-2 at the end. Now we're 2-2. I feel like the league I played last night, honestly, it was one of those where just everything worked out perfectly. Like, it felt like I was playing, you know, a modern deck against a draft deck. You know, it just felt incredible. And I still went 4-1. You know, I lost a pretty close game. But this one's not feeling that way. It's the same list, but it's not feeling that way because the mana's being a little clunky and different things like that. But definitely excited to keep trying it. I don't know. I think it's sweet. I think we'll finish out the league before calling it a day. All right. 1 land, not going to work. 1 land that is a single color, certainly not going to work. Mulligan again. All right. It's 2 colors, but we're going to keep it. Put away Spell Bomb. Do I get really greedy and put away the Bauble? No, I think we need Bauble. Kind of need everything. I guess we get rid of. I think Thoughtcast is honestly better in this kind of a situation because it's just so much cheaper. I think we get rid of the Relic. Oh, and we're on the play. Amazing. By the way, love your idea of using Angelic Renewal with Muldrifter and some other creatures. Thought that card could see some use. Yeah, I have had that idea for a while. In the list that I played the other day in the VOD, not not amazing, but it was you know, kind of the first brew of it. Ooh, Grim Bauble looking real nice now. But we get our relic back. But yeah, specifically Angelic Renewal with Muldrifter, I think, is underexplored. I understand why Ephemerate is the main combo with it. I think that's probably better. But the fact that you can just turn 2 Renewal into turn 3 Muldrifter seems really good to me. And there's not enough enchantment removal running around for it to be much of a liability. Yeah, it televises it a little bit, but I think it seems really solid. So I think maybe just going a little leaner, doing an Azorius build instead of Esper. The black wasn't helping a lot, and the build that I did had too many things going on. But I think a deck focused around the Muldrifter in that way could be really sweet. And then maybe a couple other cards that are incidentally good there. Could be nice. Okay, we are against Terror. I'm going to... They did not shuffle. I'm going to really hope they don't have a Spell Pierce here to get this on the field. I mean, I think so. Just so that if there's an Enforcer on the top, we could play that for 2. It also lets me draw 1 deeper. I don't really want to get rid of a cast down against Terror. Yeah, they have it. Yeah, definitely I think underexplored. I'm probably going to keep testing that a little bit. They Mental Note, and that's 5 spells in the grave. Yeah, I've just been wanting to stream, but specifically I think the streams are... I might just, you know, if I feel like playing Black Sack or Jund Wildfire, I'll probably do that. But I think using them to kind of try out different things is kind of cool. This is obviously a brew a little bit more refined than the Scam one, but I don't know. I think using it to brew decks could be cool. Well, I drew the Enforcer, so I think it was right to play the Blood Fountain. Really unfortunate I got countered, and now I can't cast this down, so I think we're just dead. But, I mean, if they don't have much and we draw nice, like, really good... If we drew a Tithing Blade there, that would have been our best bet. I guess I will yield until end step in case they play another threat I can cast down, and I want to. But we're definitely looking dead, if I had to guess. I mean, if we top deck a Seed of the Synod, can Thoughtcast into, like, Glint Hawk or something, we might be back into it. But this also assumes they don't have counter spells for everything that we have. And there's a Delver. I mean, if it taps them out, and then hopefully we untap and can play something, I'm going to cast down now. Suffocating Fumes. All right, we're cycling that, hoping to hit a land. Seat would still be good. I mean, it's a land, but not a blue one. Here's my list if you're interested. Really just going for blue. Really just going blue for Cryo. Yeah, I mean, Cryo's good. That's... I mean, the reason that I think I and a lot of people are trying Esper is for Cryogen Relic. For me, with going more of an affinity build, I might as well throw in Thoughtcast at that point, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. They Brainstorm and Thought Scour. Pretty nice. Yeah, so you got... Let's look at this real quick. Mukutai. 4 Sacred Cat, Fanatical, Cast Down 3 Charm, the Relics, Bauble, sweet, Lembas, Compass, Tithing Blade. Yeah, I think the issue you're going to run into, I would guess, would be that you don't have enough gates for the Basilisk Gates to be really amazing. And 2 Basilisk Gates, like, they're really a card you want as many as possible. So it looks like you might run into that issue. I guess I'll play this Mirror Enforcer, even though it chumps and then we die, and we'll see if they counter it. Sideboard looks reasonable. Yeah, I mean, I think it looks like a sweet list. I would just be concerned with the Gates artifact split. But as long as, I mean, there are lots of weird things work out well. So if it feels good to you, I think that's great. And anytime people, I think a lot of people who are like all about, I'm pretty competitive, but people who are very competitive and whatever, they kind of dismiss ideas pretty immediately. And I try to be very rational with, like, maybe that's not a great idea, etc. But also, like, some of the weirdest ideas you've ever heard can be really powerful. So I don't feel like I try not to dismiss ideas just out of hand without any experience, because maybe it'll play better than I think. So yeah, I would say I'd give it a try. I mean, if you haven't already, I assume you've played it a bit. But if it feels good, keep going for it. What did we cut before? Compasses for life gain, because that's kind of irrelevant. I don't know if bringing Crypt Rats makes sense here, but it's kind of nice. It can blow up terrors. All right, let's see. Oof. I mean, we're also playing... I'm not being that greedy, right? We're playing 20 lands. 20 lands, that's what Grixis Affinity plays, but also that's not necessarily a comparison. We have a lot slower. I could see 21 lands. I think I might have to go up to that. 21 lands in this deck. All right, this one's acceptable. What are we doing? Turn 1, bridge. I might just arrest them right away, and then Cryogen, and then I can bridge and Thoughtcast. Yeah, I think, because I want to see if we're gonna run into annuls and spell pierces right away. There isn't a null. Brainstorm, dispel, mental note. I think we just take the annul so that we can get this Cryogen down. I think that feels good. And then hopefully they don't Thoughtseize bug, because we're kind of in a bad spot if this doesn't resolve. All right, it worked. Another land is fine. So next turn we go bridge, Thoughtcast, maybe hit a refurb if we're lucky. 2, 3, 4. Blood Fountain wouldn't get us to Mirror Enforcer quite yet. They're brainstorming. I assume Mental Note in the upkeep. Looks that maybe they like what they see. Okay, no, they don't. Mental Note away, 2 islands. Okay, well, I can't guarantee they have any more islands in hand, so Dispel is all we know. If they just pass with this, I guess I could get Spell Pierced if I don't lead with Vault, but okay, they ponder. That's good. I don't have to worry about it then, because I really need the white source down, so I think I would probably just greed it out anyway. I guess I don't have to Thoughtcast right now. Like, if they left up mana, obviously now I will, unless I draw better than it. If I get a Prism or something, I'll put that down first. So we get our white source. Refurb, very nice. Okay, that's even better, so I get to go Thoughtcast, Refurb. I mean, making him discard a card isn't like... see, this is why I don't want to run 21 lands. I feel like I have to mulligan because I have so many one-landers, and then I get flooded. What is the solution? More card draw, generally, but I feel like our card draw is fine. I did cut Fanaticals, but 4 relics, 4 Thoughtcast, 2 prisms. Refurb's not quite hard. I wouldn't call it hard draw in deck building. Spell bombs and blood fountains kind of count. I don't know. Raven's Crime? Don't tempt me. I love me a Raven's Crime. I'm already playing the Crypt Rats, which should generally happen in mostly a mono black deck, so might as well Raven's Crime too. I mean, that's kind of a funny idea. I do want Raven's Crime to be more playable. Like, it's sad that it is not, in my opinion. Glint Hawk is good, but is it going to resolve is the question. I think we Enforcer first to try to bait a counterspell. Everyone I see running Raven's Crime loves it. I mean, like, I don't know. Generally, I like playing things that my opponent likes playing against. Like, maybe I get that from my, playing Commander, but not that it's, like, all about their fun. But I don't want to play a deck that they hate, unless it's Raven's Crime, because I love Raven's Crime just so much. Like, yeah, I understand why people don't love playing against it. Okay, we do get annulled. This still means we get counterspelled. I don't think we Glint Hawk. I think we just pass. We try to do a couple at the same time. Yeah, I've done some brews with Raven's Crime on the channel, and it's honestly really good with Black Mage's Rod, because every time you retrace it, you ping them. You ping them for 1. So I think it could be real. All right, they only have 1 mana. That's good. That means I can Glint Hawk. Doesn't mean Relic gets through, though. Oh, my God. Well, we're going to Glint Hawk. Relic could still get annulled, so hopefully I draw something else. Oh, perfect. Play a land first so that we don't get Spell Pierced, but if we get annulled, we just put another one down. And that just works. Core Skyfisher. Okay. Now we're cooking. No Force Spike, please. All right. See, and now, well, I was going to say I don't mind as many lands. Like, I don't mind having the land drops, but I wish this was a spell. All right, I'm not going to leave these back. This would be a 3 for 1, and they could just have something. But I can just Cryogen this down next turn, assuming they attack, which I don't know why they wouldn't. We'll take 6. Living the dream right there. Yeah, I mean, that Skyfisher was perfectly timed. And after drawing so many lands, I think that's only fair. I mean, I lost a game today at my locals because I kept 3 land, 4 spell, and then my next 8 draws were 1 spell and 7 land. And I was like, it was a really good opening hand, but like 7 lands off the top is not gonna win you the game, unfortunately. So I'm due some decent draws, I think. All right, they're passing 2 mana. They're missing their land drops. I mean, they brainstormed and milled 2 away. I guess they got greedy. So I play a Relic, they counter, and then I play another. I guess playing the second one and having to sack it is not my favorite. Maybe I Thoughtcast. If they counter that, which I don't know if they will, probably not, but if they did, then I could Relic with no fear. Ooh, okay. Well, now I think we'll just Relic. If they counter this, I'll just play another Relic, pick it up with the Glint Hawk, and I can just chump now with the Glint Hawk I play here, and it doesn't feel that bad because I'm also getting in for 6. Cast down's nice. Don't have the mana for it, but next turn, I mean, we'll see how I'm feeling. Maybe I won't chump. because I guess this wouldn't be quite lethal. Refurb's good too. Now we're drawing one. I guess they're at 10. I mean, if we get the Crypt Rats through and attack with everything, we could hit them for lethal. I think that's unlikely, but maybe if they think they have to tap out for a couple terrors. We have Cast Down and Refurb. I think we take it in case we can get there. Like if we bait a counterspell and then Crypt Rats for 2, like bait a counterspell with the Relic maybe. There's a terror. Yeah, I think bait a counterspell with the Relic. Ooh. We can't play the Dress though if we want to use the Crypt Rats for lethal. So let's just play a Relic, see if they do anything. A Null. What could they have for 1 mana that's going to throw off a Crypt Rats or stop an attacker? Nothing? I can't think of anything. So I think we just cast Crypt Rats, and if it resolves, then we attack, and then we Crypt Rats for 2? Yeah. All right, we got there with the weird sideboard Crypt Rats. All right. Well, let's try to get the last game here. We're on the draw. Does that change anything? I don't think so. I mean, maybe it changes like bringing a Bauble for the Delver, but Bauble's so bad against anything else. Like if they don't go for a Delver draw and they just get more terrors, then it's pretty bad. Because even like if double Bauble could kill like a Serpent, like Cryptic Serpent, I would probably do that. But like even picking it up with the Glint Hawk and replaying it doesn't do anything, so we'd have to do it 3 times, and that just does not seem feasible. So here we go. Last game here. I mean, even if this deck isn't doing quite as well as I would like, it's absolutely sweet. Like, I love Glint Blade. In general, I love Glint Hawk and Core Skyfisher. Being able to pick up Tithing, like, it's kind of a toolbox deck. Like, I like toolbox decks in theory, although I hate tutors. Even in, like, competitive, I'm not a big fan, because it just still makes it so that, like, games play out kind of the same way. But it's kind of toolboxy, because it's like, oh, my Glint Hawk can be a removal spell or an edict or a draw 2 or whatever, and it's pretty nice. I don't think we're throwing this back. We do Goldmire, turn 2, Blood Fountain, Bridge, Thoughtcast. Thraven Charm takes care of the graveyard or something. They mulled a 5. Maybe we have a shot here. Like, this hand is not amazing, certainly against them, and if they get like a fast Delver, it could be pretty rough. No Delver. Nice. Ooh, Bridge is nice, because that actually lets me... It doesn't quite let me do Thoughtcast Blood Fountain, but it's still just the 2 colors that I don't have untapped already, so I might as well play it. And they kept a 1-lander. I mean, they mulliganed to 5, so it's hard to blame them. Ooh, Spellbomb. Are they going to have Spell Pierce? Do I want to play into a Spell Pierce, giving their spells power here when they're not on a great draw? They might be forced to just like Rainstorm. I don't think we need to. I think we're just going to play a Bridge and pass, actually. Maybe that's not right, but it feels like if they're on a 1-lander, not playing into any, like they didn't have a Brainstorm or a Thoughtcast, that's us, Thought Scour or anything, so I really don't want to give in a Null or anything, any strength. Now, I can't do nothing forever. If I Blood Fountain here, I could play around Spell Pierce, but I can't play around a Null. But then if they annul it, I can get down to Spellbomb and a Thoughtcast still. I think that's fine. So I will Blood Fountain, and if this just resolves, how greedy do we want to be? Spellbomb doesn't play around Spell Pierce or a Null. Mirror Enforcer, I could just play. It plays around Spell Pierce, but not a Null. And it's quite a threat. I think, I don't know. Is this right? My usual inclination is always to play as aggressively as possible, cast my spells when I have the mana, but it just doesn't feel right to do so right now. And now when they have 2 mana up, I mean, maybe it's even worse, but it feels like, I don't know, Skyfisher's not bad. I think we Thoughtcast, still playing around Spell Pierce, Bridge, and a Prism. I mean, Prism isn't like insane. We don't really need it as much here, so like maybe I just play that. I think that's fine. If that gets countered, I can live with it. Now that they have 2 mana, they're probably going to get some stuff rolling regardless, I would bet. There's a Spell Pierce I've been playing around. Maybe I should keep playing around it for forever, but it feels like eventually maybe I gotta give. Can't play an Enforcer. I don't know. I'm still happy that we didn't lose any of our other cards to it. Next turn I get Enforcer. I can get down Skyfisher, which if they don't make too much progress, I might, just for the pressure. That's a great draw. I mean, I might just eat a counterspell, but then it taps them fully out, so that's great. Let's duress them. 2 Annuls, 3 Serpents. Okay, so I'm actually helping them here. I mean, if I cast Enforcer, I think we just blow up their graveyard, right? This is their hand. I cast Enforcer for free, they annul it, and then I blow up their graveyard, and then they're stuck with 3 Serpents they can never play. And if they let this go, that's fine too. And they know that like I'm baiting them here, but like what else are they gonna do? And now I can play Spellbomb. Blow up their graveyard, bam. And now, I mean, they could draw really well if they get like a bunch of Thought Scours in a row. But now they're just stuck with a bunch of Serpents that don't do anything. Hey, there's a Thought Scour into 2 spells. I mean, maybe they could literally play a Terror here. I mean, that was drawing incredibly well. They missed on one of them, but that's now 2 mana Terrors and Serpents next turn. I might have to Thraben Charm their graveyard again. Blow it up right away. We also just have a Mirror Enforcer in the grave, so I don't need to Blood Fountain yet. Not getting as much value out of these Skyfishers as I would like. I think I have to, honestly. I could absolutely just lose to those. I think we exile their graveyard, play 2 Skyfishers, and then try to beat down double graveyard hate. Pick up this, and yeah, I think we just go for the beats. Pick up a Vault here. I mean, again, if they draw really well, if they have another Thought Scour or anything, like, I could have waited till their upkeep in case they had another Thought Scour, but then I'm opening myself up to a full counter spell. Obviously, if they had a Dispel, I couldn't do anything about that, but didn't really want to do that. I think we'll Prism. If that gets countered, we can get down Blood Fountain, which can buy back an Enforcer at some point. Well, I guess we are drawing a new card here. This is what I'm talking about. Look at all these lands. Attack for 4. And I guess I might as well play around to Spell Pierce yet again with the Blood Fountain. And that's good. I could have Blood Token right there in case we get a Glint Hawk. I maybe should have done that, because I'm going to use it at this turn regardless. Well, they have a Lorien for an island. Not bad. Blood Away Bridge. There's the Glint Hawk. Yep, I should have done it last turn. Cast down's good. Okay, I get to Glint Hawk. If they counterspell, then I get to Blood Fountain them, both that and the Enforcer back. Ooh, unless they got something here. Boomerang or something. Let's play Glint Hawk. We'll pick up a Prism if that resolves. Okay. To be honest, I could just buy back the Enforcer right now, but we already have a 2-turn clock. It doesn't actually change that at all. If it did, if it made it so we had lethal next turn, I probably would just Blood Fountain for just the 1. But we'll Prism. Refurb is decent. It does make it so that they can maybe throw a random card they can't get out of their hands in the yard. Maybe it just eats a Serpent, though, and that's fine. Yeah, there's a Cryptic Serpent down. That's fine. I assume they have more Serpents, maybe, more than just the 3 that we know about. All right. We're able to take down the match. They mulliganed to 5, and a pretty bad one at that, it looked like. But another 3-2. I mean, positive records. That's good. It's always good. Yeah. In conclusion, I don't know. GG's. Yeah, very good games here. I don't know. Deck feels like it needs some work. I have 9 blue sources, not to mention 2 compass. Let me open this here. It covers my sideboard, but that's fine. I have 9 blue sources, not to mention compass and prism. So really, 13. And it still feels like my mana is kind of rough in general, but especially blue. I only have 9 blue spells in the main deck, so I thought that would be plenty. But Thoughtcast is a single... a lot of burps. Thoughtcast is a single blue mana, which can maybe draw you into more, and then you need more blue. Cryogen Relic has not just the cost, which you might be paying 2 or 3 times in a turn with Skyfishers and Glint Hawks, but also the activation. I think I probably need like 2 more bridges that are blue, or maybe just 2 more blue sources in general. I mean, I guess I have 11 black sources, 2 more than that, and we have only 5, 8, 13. I mean, 13 black spells, that's quite a bit more, but I could do like, I almost feel like maybe swap TC for Fanatical. Thoughtcast. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Thoughtcast is better than Fanatical Offering. Offering is great and perfect in so many decks, and it might be right here, and I did try Fanatical in my previous list. I had both that and Thoughtcast, but I don't know. I like being able to sacrifice an artifact is good sometimes, right? Triggering a relic if that's what you want. Sacrificing something that's going to get exiled is good, but 1 mana and instant speed is obviously the biggest issue, or not issue, the biggest boon to it, right? Instant speed's amazing, but 1 mana versus 2 mana is so much more powerful. Obviously, you might be right simply for the colors. If I want to go more to blue as a splash, 4 relics, and my Rebuke, maybe I even cut a Rebuke at that point, then I don't think that's a bad idea, but I really like Thoughtcast. Cryo takes so much blue when you're recasting. Exactly. Yeah, that's the issue, is it looks like 9 blue spells here, but it's really like, 9 plus every single Glint Hawk and Skyfisher, ideally, is another blue source, right, with the relic. Or not blue source, rather, a blue requirement. So, yeah, I mean, it could mean even more compasses and prisms main deck. I could see that. But 4 already feels like kind of a lot. Like, this isn't what you want to be bouncing. It's not an amazing card in general. Compass is great against a burn deck, but not great otherwise. I think the main thing... What mana do I have the most of? I mean, not just here. Obviously here it's black because I have 9 blue, not 9 white. But when I'm playing, I feel like I don't need as much black as I have. I have 11, and that's 1-drops for refurbs, fumes occasionally, cast downs. Like, these are very, like, spot, you know, in certain circumstances I'm going to cast down or Grim Bauble. And obviously you want to have multiple black if you want to, like, bauble down a small guy and Tithing Blade a big guy. Blood Fountains don't need to be timely. That's the big thing. It's like a lot of... I mean, the removal is timely, right? But Blood Fountain can kind of come down whenever. And Blood Fountain refurb makes you want a lot of black, right? Because in the late game, I might want to play a Blood Fountain, crack it for 5 mana, that's 2 black, and then replay 2 refurbs. But I feel like I almost always have enough black mana. So I think maybe I'm going to try, like, another Razor Tide over Goldmire. Right, that's just swapping 1 black land essentially for a blue land, and maybe just like an extra seat. And I'm debating doing 21 lands because, like, I know I keep drawing so many. I need to find a solution to that, but it also feels like I'm mulliganing a lot, which I'm happy to do if it leads to good games, but sometimes I'm mulliganing into the ground and not getting good hands. So possibly I need another land. Might be a lot. To be honest, I kind of wanted to fit a Bojuka Bog in here, not just because it's a nice land, obviously fits in our colors, and graveyard decks are everywhere right now, but also I love a Bojuka Bog in a Skyfisher deck, because then you can read Bojuka Bog with the Skyfisher. It would be a crime to have 21 lands. A Raven's crime? Is that the indication? I mean, you know what? Screw it. Let's just turn all of these into black lands. Everything taps for at least black. I mean, to be honest, as many lands as I'm drawing, I don't hate the idea of a Raven's crime. I would need more black, and currently I'm trying to solve the issue of needing more blue. So I think that would be a big tension point, but I'm not opposed to putting a Raven's Crime in here. Like, it may not seem like the right deck for it, but it also doesn't seem like the right deck for Crypt Rats, and that, I mean, it did fine. It was not insane. I still think Crypt Rats could be pretty good in the sideboard here, but I mean, I could do a Crypt Rats. Definitely something I'm gonna have to think about and play around with a little bit. I kind of love it. I'm not hating it. I love, like, Raven. I mean, honestly, you know what? Let's put one in. I love it so much. And when I'm just sitting here drawing a million cards, and then I have 4 lands in hand, take their entire hand, not to mention we already have refurbs, so it's kind of like a little synergy, I guess. I think just one, and maybe it's gonna feel bad if I just switched away. Maybe I need to switch back to some more black lands. The other issue, well, I was playing 3/3 and 3 bridges. I could play 12 bridges, right? I could play some more tap lands. Our mana would probably be better, but we have a lot of tap lands. I guess if I'm doing the Raven's Crime, maybe I just put in another Compass or 2. I don't know, 4 Compasses seems like a lot. Maybe I just go 4 Prism. 4 Prism's a lot too. 3 or 4 Prism. Raven's Crime. We're wanting more lands, so I bump Fumes. Probably, I mean, the space is getting really tight. I love a main deck Fumes. It kills so often. I mean, I was looking for it tonight in like 3 different matches in game 1 because I played against like a white weenie deck that I wanted it. I played against a fairies deck where I wanted it. And just in general, it's, I think, really good / important with like Tithing Blade, because Tithing Blade eats a 1/1 and it's really bad, but if you can first Fumes and then Tithing Blade, it's really good. But if I'm putting in Raven's Crime, if I'm putting in more Prisms, I probably cannot afford it, and it could go in the sideboard, but then I just think there's going to be some games where we lose just because we don't have one. But maybe it should just be another artifact land. But if I'm trying to put a Bojuka Bog in here too, which if I'm doing Raven's Crime, I might as well go up to 21 lands. It doesn't have to be a bog, but there's no reason to like play this. If I think that I need more lands, play this and not play an extra land. So that's... But yeah, I feel like if we're doing crimes, we need more prisms and things so that we could actually cast it like 4 times. Sweeper's always nice, and it cycles, exactly. Like, sometimes it's awkward because you don't have you cycle it and it costs a lot, but it's almost never, it's never a dead card. You just turn it into something else. But like, I used it earlier today to blunt a Thorn of the Black Rose that was attacking me to take the Monarch back, and so it just couldn't deal me damage, and that was incredible because then I took the Monarch with my Kenku Artificer, because this was in the other deck actually where I was playing Kenku. Took the Monarch, then they attacked me with a Thorn. I suffocating fumes it, and then I had a bridge, indestructible bridge to block, and they could not get through, and they conceded like right away. So yeah, I love fumes a lot. I mean, one of Rebuke also is kind of a little weird, but like it didn't come up a lot in the leagues today. It was okay, but like I used it really effectively earlier in my locals and last night. Just some really key spells that I was able to counter. But space is getting really tight, and I don't really want to go down below three cast downs. I feel like playing fewer than 4 of our best, what I consider the best draw spell other than Relic, is like weak, and I don't want to cut any of the threats because these 16 cards are amazing. I don't have to do 2 spell bombs main deck, especially if I'm putting in another bog, or rather putting in a first bog. Maybe I cut that. I mean, Raven's Crime could be a meme for sure, but because we drew so many lands so many times, and if I just had a 1 of Raven's Crime in there, that I was like, oh, instead of having 4 dead cards in my hand, I just rip their entire hand away, I think it could be real quite good. Maybe 5 of these is too many, but I don't want to cut some of the 2 of the 1-drops, so maybe just 3 prisms, unless Spellbomb is good if you're going big. Yeah, I agree. I like 2 Blood Fountains too much. I don't think I can cut those. Tithing Blade's so good sometimes. If you're going bog, yes. I was like going big, I'm not sure what that means, but yes, if you're going bog, I agree. Spellbomb can be cut. Yeah, I mean, I guess we're kind of trading, like if I take the fumes out, I'm trading a good card against whatever aggro deck is being played, and I'm trading it for a good card for more late game. I mean, Raven's Crime can be good against an aggro deck too. I've had it in like a control Golgari Gardens type list where I've just had so many lands early because I'm playing like 22 lands and I have some Golgari Rot Farms, and I just Raven's Crime them on turn 4 for 4 cards, and it's like, well, you know, then I just clean up the board a little bit after that, and it's great. So yeah, so fumes could be the cut for sure. I think we'll throw it in the sideboard. Maybe I'll swap the arms for it. And I guess Tithing Blade was really good today. It came up, like, I got it a lot, and almost every time I was happy about it. I obviously I didn't like it against Black Sack, the deck that wants to sacrifice all their guys, so I took it out there. But otherwise, like, I played against a lot of Terror. I don't even hate it against something like Mono Red Madness. Yeah, it's not great if it eats a snacker, but like they have a lot of gutter snipes and stuff. Plus you can maybe, you know, Grim Bauble down the snacker, Tithing Blade the Kessick Flame Breather, something like that. 3 cast downs. This last cut's gonna kill me. Well, I guess I'll just pick something for now, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, I have plenty of artifacts if I take the Tithing Blade out, but then I have 4 removal, 5... Yeah, my removal's really low for a Glint Blade deck. My card draw is enormous, and my removal, like, what am I drawing to if I don't have the removal? I honestly think I might need to add more removal. I think these 6 is not cutting it. I was looking for cast downs all day. Well, and I guess I had the 7th with the suffocating. I don't know. I'm going to have to play around with this for sure. Definitely try to fit in the Raven's Crime. But it is definitely a little late for me, so I am going to get going. But I really appreciate everyone who popped into the stream at any point, and Ben Fraley for hanging out and talking the last little bit. I don't have a stream schedule. I'm trying to stream more, a couple times a week. I did a poll, and the majority of people voted on Saturdays and Mondays to be free and wanting to have me stream, and so I'm going to try to do that. But this Monday I'm busy. Next Saturday I'm busy, I believe, but I'll probably try to fit in like a Wednesday stream or something. So, you know, if you're watching this on the VOD or whatever, just go ahead and follow me on Twitch, follow me on Blue Sky or Twitter or whatever if you want to know when I'm going to be streaming, because I'm going to try to be doing it a couple times a week. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.